Ben Wozni with the shot, and he fills it. Martin on the backhand, he scores. Another shot, and he scores. Gustav Stjernberg, Brody Waters tips it in for the Bowling Green goal. Back over the middle to the inside. What a save from Cole Moore. Oh, a mid-ice hit from Gustav Stjernberg, forcing the puck free. Brody Waters hat trick.
I don't believe it. The champagne is flowing in Bowling Green.
Welcome into the Slater Family Ice Arena. Bowling Green set to face off against the Bemidji State Beavers here again in the Slater Family Ice Arena. Not the greatest weather outside, but it's pretty nice in here, Sean Connolly, and I'm excited to call this game with you, the first of the season with you. We're going to get a couple coming up, and it should be a very good series, Bowling Green versus Bemidji State.
Yeah, this is you're kind of now in the full swing of things in CCHA play, so it'll be a fun matchup, and both these teams are kind of in the same area of flirting with 500. Obviously, Bowling Green's on this pretty big winning streak, so it's going to be a fun matchup.
Definitely, and second CCHA series of the calendar year for Bowling Green now. Them and Lake Superior State were the only two CCHA teams to play in a CCHA matchup last week, and as we know, Bowling Green came out on top pretty sizably, a 3-0 and a 3-1 victory over Lake Superior State, who were ahead of them in the rankings, and now Bowling Green's vaulted up to tied with Michigan Tech for third place and fourth. Michigan Tech has the edge out over them right now, but they hold on to that home playoff right now, going into the easy part of their schedule, and that was a huge weekend for Bowling Green to have over Lake Superior State just a week ago.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that those first four spots are so crucial because you do get home ice that first round. And obviously if you have a higher seed, you still get the home ice in the following rounds. But that first round will be so massive. So, yeah, this is a pretty big matchup for both squads to try and get into that leapfrog over there to get those four spots. But, yeah, last week, pretty electric by the goaltender, Christian Stover.
Yeah, definitely, and he's on a 5-game in a row win streak right now. He's 5-0-1 this season after Cole Moore started the season decently strong, a 5-7-1 record, but the Stover stepped in and has not relinquished, and he's been great. Actually, if you put him in the statistical category with all the other goaltenders in the NCAA, he's first in goals allowed average and first in save percentage, a 1.21 goals allowed per game with a .963 save percentage, and currently undefeated. If he plays about 200 more minutes, he'll be eligible, and he's got about 200 more minutes to keep those same stats and to be one of the best goaltenders in the CCHA. He's the reason BG had that sweep over Northern Michigan, the win over RIT, and then the sweep over Lake Superior State. 2 sweeps in a row for BG. They can make it 3 today.
Yeah, I mean, and also you look at the goaltending by Bowling Green. Cole Moore and Christian Stover. Dennis Williams in his press conference a few days ago said they're like 1A, 1B. You could really go with any of them, but when you have the hot hand like Stover does right now, you can't get rid of that.
And another hot hand that Bemidji State has, actually, the preseason predicted goaltender of the year is Matthias Scholl. Hasn't played great this season. We'll talk about the strength of schedule for Bemidji State in a second, but he's about the same stats as Cole Moore, 2.73 goals allowed per game and a .902 save percentage. Cole Moore is around that same mark as well, a little bit more goals per game and a little bit better save percentage. But if you look at the schedule for Bemidji State, it is just absolutely treacherous, probably the hardest schedule in the CCHA, and it's no wonder that they're only 8-9-3 on the season, even given how good of a team they are.
Yeah, you mentioned the goaltender Scholl. I mean, like you said, regular season goaltender of the year a year ago, or a season ago. I mean, in your preview, you posted yesterday 10 two or less goal games. He's 7-1-2 in those 10 games. 1-8-1 if he gives up more than 3. So that's the name that you have the blueprint right now for Bowling Green. If you can get goals in the back of the net off this guy, that's the key to success.
Basically, all they need is 3 goals.
Yep.
Is that what we're saying? All they need is 3 goals. He's 7-9-3 so far on the season, but some of those wins and losses include ranked Minnesota Duluth, ranked St. Cloud State, ranked Minnesota State, Minnesota, North Dakota. I mean, there's a plethora of teams. Actually, every single team they played this season is a CCHA or a ranked opponent. I mean, that is really tough to be dealing with if you're Bemidji State. They are quite a defensive team as well. Their penalty kill is pretty good, although hasn't had the statistical reflection of it. They don't score a lot of goals, but they don't give up a whole ton of goals either. I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup today. Something else to mention is Bemidji State has received votes. Bowling Green has not. So even though Bowling Green has a better record than them, is higher in the CCHA standings, the USCHO still thinks that Bemidji State's the better team.
Yeah, and I think this is the first matchup between these two teams for this year. So now it's the first test. Now we have the eye test. Who beat who? Obviously you play 4 times a year, but now it's like I said, the eye test, which I think is obviously it is the most important thing you can judge off of.
Certainly, and Bemidji State has first 2 lines are their main scoring lines, even though they don't score a whole lot. First line, Kirkland Irie, who's their best player, their highest scorer, 16 points, 8 goals, 8 assists, and he's with the centerman Jackson Judding and Eric Martin, the right winger, combining for 28 total points on that first line, 19 goals and 19 assists. The second line is just a step behind with 21. 6 goals, more assists with 15, but Casper Magnuson, Yuri Vizenen, and Austin Jopi, the second line, and then the bottom 2 lines really don't score a whole lot. So for Bowling Green, as we mentioned before, you get out and you get on top early, and you're going to put Bemidji State in a little bit of a bind where they kind of keep throwing those first 2 lines out there.
Yeah, and I know we alluded to it earlier, but having that Bemidji State. They're tied for first for most penalty minutes in the CCHA. So Bowling Green's going to kind of have that man advantage as well. Not all game, but they're going to have it in their back pocket for most of the game.
Something they did very well against Lake Superior State as well. They scored the 6 goals in the series. One of them was an empty net, but a couple of them were on the power play as well. Actually, Brody Waters and Ryan O'Hara sported a lot of that scoring for Bowling Green. That was so fantastic against Lake Superior State. But I think everything for BG spawns through their defense. They held Lake Superior State, who was the #1 scoring team in the CCHA going into the series, to only 1 goal on the series. And now if you look at the stats, they're the 3rd highest scoring or the 3rd best scoring team in the CCHA. So single-handedly, you run into Christian Stover, and Lake Superior State just drops like a rock offensively.
Oh, yeah. And that's, like I said, the key to success is the 3 goal. That's where you kind of want to get to. And, yeah, when you play a goalie like Stover who has the hot hand, it's going to be a tough matchup, but an exciting one, too. Great
to see Stover getting back to where he was 2 years ago in his goaltending. Sean, if you had to choose a couple of things for Bowling Green to really look for today to give them the best chance of winning, a couple of things that you think Willie's going to focus on. What do you think they're going to focus on today?
Well, like I said, execute on the power play. Like I said earlier, Bemidji State is tied for first with the penalty minutes with 128 minutes on the season. So if you can really take advantage of that man-up opportunity, like I said, the 3-goal mark, man-up opportunity, that's, I think, where you're going to capitalize this whole weekend, not just tonight.
BG's power play, 214 so far in this season. Their penalty kill is 281, around the same as Bemidji State, but their power play is quite sizably better. So BG is better on special teams today. The starting lineup for Bowling Green today is going to be the 4th line of Falcons, which honestly, Sean, is my favorite line. Ethan Scardina in the center, who I think is the most underrated player on the team by far, even as a captain. And then Quinn Emerson on the right wing, Max Martin on the left wing. I really like Max Martin as an offensive presence, but all 3 of those guys are 200-foot players, and there's a decent amount of scoring in that line as well that hopefully we'll see today with them starting.
Yeah, you mentioned kind of a fun line, and I agree. I mean, start of the year, Martin and Norris were kind of, hand in hand with scoring. So, yeah, I think it's a fun line that can score. I know you said the 4th line, but at the end of the day, all lines will get their ice time. So
definitely will be one of the lines that gets the most shifts in today's game. Defensemen Dalton Norris and Tommy Passanen will be the crew for BG, although the defenseman is an interesting thing to look at because Sternberg does not have a defensive line today. He's dealing with an upper body injury. I know you said before our broadcast that Willie mentioned earlier the week in the press conference that we'll know at 7:07 whether or not he's going to play. He does not have a line, but we're assuming that he's going to play a couple of shifts and see how he feels. He did not play against Lake Superior State. And stepping in for him with Eric Parker is Ivan Karodiak, the midseason signee for Bowling Green that has been in the lineup and played a sizable amount every single game that Bowling Green has played since they've signed him. So that's a good sign to see from the kid defenseman. He's big, too, 6'4", standing along with the 6'2", Eric Parker, adding some size to that BG defensive line. And they've kind of been a real strong point for BG this season.
Yeah, and you mentioned the absence of Sternberg, and that's big too because he's a defenseman that can score, he can assist, he can kind of do it all. And like I said, that's a big loss if he can't go again tonight. We saw him skating earlier today, so hopefully that's a good sign that he's getting back to full health.
Definitely, and we do not have the lineup or the starters for Bemidji State yet, but we will give you those as soon as we get them back. We will talk about Pick the Stick here for a second. Lucas Kleinmeyer, our sports director, chose Christian Stover today, so again, he will start with 3 points and lose them as he gives up goals, so he thinks Stover is going to maintain his hot hand and give up not a lot of goals today, is actually what Lucas said before the game started when I talked to him. Tyler Kavlitz, our production director on our men's basketball beat. Lucas is our women's. Tyler is our men's. He chose Brett Foe today. He likes the way he's been playing. He said he doesn't really know why he's going to choose him, but thinks he's going to get a goal today. He's playing with Ben Duran and Jackson Niedermeyer on the second line. Duran moving down from the first line. Ville Emanen stepping up. Sean Connolly, who are you going to take as your pick to stick today? Your first of the year, actually.
Yeah, first of the year. Unfortunately, Lucas Kleinmeyer has the upper hand on me getting the first pick. I was going to take Stover, but I'm going to go with the offensive side of Ryan O'Hara. Scored a pair last week, and like Christian Stover, you kind of have to feed the hot hand, and that's, I think Ryan O'Hara is going to get have another.
BG men's basketball continues MAC play with a big matchup against the Buffalo Bulls on Tuesday, January 14th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Artie Abrego and Tyler Kavlitz will call the game starting with pregame at 6:45 on Falcon Radio.
Everyone knows texting while driving is a recipe for disaster, but other forms of distracted driving, like changing the radio station, putting on makeup, or talking with the passenger can be just as dangerous. This is Trooper Tony Shirley of the Ohio State Highway Patrol's Bowling Green Post. Every time someone takes their eyes or focus off the road, even for just a few seconds, they put their life and the lives of others in danger. Distracted driving is unsafe and the consequences can be devastating. Help us drive to save lives, never drive distracted.
Between the Bemidji State Beavers and your BGSU Falcons.
Sweet strawberry icing. You're in Goodwill, and just past that vintage denim jacket you spot miniature donut earrings. You lean in. Ah, that's the scent of shopping success. Because at Goodwill, every item you buy funds local job training and more. So bring home those donut earrings and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
BGSU Hockey takes on the Bemidji State Beavers for the second game of a two-game series at Slater Family Ice Arena on Saturday, January 11th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Sean Connolly at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM. BGSU men's basketball heads to Muncie to take on the Ball State Cardinals on Saturday, January 11th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
This hour of programming on WBGU-FM is brought to you by Taco Bell, now hiring for all positions at Wooster and Main Street locations. Apply at buckeyebell.com.
Song again! Here's that song again! For the 100th time today, here's that song again. It's gonna be stuck in your head all day. Here's that song again. It will make you cray cray.
You love your kids enough to watch that TV show a bajillion times. Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat for their age and size. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey there, I'm Ben Korak, the voice of Falcon Hockey, and you are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for BGSU hockey.
I'm Ryan O'Hara on the BG hockey team. I got 4 favorite restaurants here. My first one, Frickers, because of the frickin' chicken. My second one, Kermit's, because it's great breakfast food. My third one, The Row. It's great. It stays open late and has great food. And my fourth one is Juniper. It's great to go in the afternoon, and they have a really good name that too.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
BGSU women's basketball travels to Athens to take on the Ohio Bobcats on Wednesday, January 15th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Kaden Nav at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hi, it's Tori DeVito. In every family, small conversations can make a big impact, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic.
Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life.
I wanted you to know from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
BGSU men's basketball heads to Muncie to take on the Ball State Cardinals on Saturday, January 11th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
BGSU Gymnastics heads to Ypsilanti for their first road meet against the Eastern Michigan Eagles on Sunday, January 12th at 1 p.m. Catch the recap of the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain.
Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
On October 4th, 2024, BGSU volleyball opposite hitter Lauren Hovey recorded her 115th career service ace in BG's comeback reverse sweep of Western Michigan, passing Paige Penrod for the most in program history during the rally scoring era. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil had the call of the historic moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And that will make history. Lauren Hovey's 115th ace in the rally scoring era is in the history books as the Stroh Center applauds.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, I'm Jaden Progerio on the women's soccer team, and I'm doing my Falcon 4 favorite places in BG. First would have to be Meyer, second would have to be Juniper, third would have to be the beach, and number 4 would be the fires behind the business building. Thanks.
Matt always knew he wanted to be a doctor. That's why he makes the most of every day. To study before breakfast, to work hard, to do whatever was necessary to achieve his goal. He found an answer in the military. If you have a passion, a vision for your future in any field, todaysmilitary.com can be your path to a fulfilling career. You have a calling, we have an answer. Find your way at todaysmilitary.com.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media's live sports talk show, The Swoop? Well, there will be no more productions over winter break. Episodes will air again every Tuesday beginning on January 28th only on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Ted Hazelman, Superintendent of Bowling Green City Schools. Did you know? In the 2023-2024 school year, our food service staff served over 255,000 student meals. Our commitment to food safety was recognized when the Wood County Health Department awarded Bowling Green High School, Bowling Green Middle School, Conneaut Elementary, and Crim Elementary the 2024 Clean Plate Award for going above and beyond the requirements. Out of over 800 licensed food facilities in Wood County, only 38 received this honor. 4 of the 38 were our school cafeterias. This has been your Bowling Green City Schools Quality Profile Moment. To learn more about Bowling Green City Schools, please visit our website, sign up for our e-newsletter, and follow us on Facebook, X, and YouTube.
Bowling Green Bemidji State dropped puck, an early penalty against Bowling Green. Tommy Passanen caught 2 minutes for tripping head of the box. Falcons killed it all off. We're currently under 16 minutes left to play in the first period. Shot on goal for each and no score. Ben Korak here with Sean Connolly from the Falcon Media Sports Network. For all BGSU sports news and updates, go to bgfalconmedia.com or BG_FMSN on Twitter. And for rebroadcast and video content, go to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Don't know whether it's a weather thing or a Slater Family Ice Arena thing, but we will try and bring you the best product possible. Magnuson brings it in. Shot glove saved by Christian Stover, who's in the net for the Falcons. 6'2", and across the ice there's Matthias Scholl, who stands at a whopping 5'11". Not very big, but a pretty good goaltender as well on the other side of the ice.
Yeah, just a pretty big penalty kill by Bowling Green. I mean, they're about middle of the pack in terms of penalty kill in the CCHA. And Bemidji State right there with them, but a really early and just kind of a momentum killer. You were on the man advantage if you're Bemidji State. And now, since they were able to kill it off, you're back at full strength.
Only a 188 power play coming into today. It's probably lower now, given they're 0 for 1. Bowling Green presses the puck up against the boards. Magnuson takes it away, passes to the far side. Wolf looking in, deflected out in front, and he'll go to the back wall. Ben Duran's being a little bit interfered with, gets it out to center. Bemidji dumps it back in. They've maintained a lot of possession. Puck has spent more time in the BG end than the Bemidji State end, but now the Falcons get it out to center. Taking it out the far side. Ben Duran working in. His shot is wide left. Looking for a pass. Waters was open in the slot, but he couldn't find him. Now Emanen takes it back around. He's getting pressured by Tony Fulmer, the left defenseman. Oh, big hit. Referee caught some of that one too as Magnuson gets crushed into the boards. Taking it away is Bemidji State. Shot in. Hits the half wall. Pressed up. Korodiak puts a hit on now. Back out to the blue line. Bemidji State shot in front. Missed it just wide right. On a shot there from Magnuson, who crashed in. And now Ryan O'Hara takes the puck away. Near side, off of the glass. As a couple of his guys go for a change, Patrick Sadosari pressed him away from it and turned the puck over as this one clears out of play. And we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone.
Souvenir for one of the up front one for a Bowling Green Falcon fan.
Big penalty kill for the Falcons. Gustav Stjernberg on the ice as we see it now, so the upper body injury doesn't seem to be plaguing him too much, but the game will wear on, so we'll see how it continues to plague him then. He's playing with McKinley right now, taking the place of Ben Wozni on the first line. Falcons almost have an overabundance of defensemen now, a lot of guys that are pretty good and not a lot of spots to put them. McKinley pass up to Martin. Max Martin dumps it in the zone. Emerson chases. He'll follow up Patrick Sadosari, put a hit on. Look to get it away, back out to the Falcon blue line. McKinley, shot in, is blocked. Bemidji State looks to get it out. Have the puck, pass across into the neutral zone. Near side, Sadosari again. Goes off the half wall. Stjernberg will settle it down and peel it off the boards for Scardina. Scardina on the far side of the ice. Striking left to right. Pass back across, and that could be an offside, and I think it's going to be. Scardina looked to dump it into the zone, but Owen Ozar was a little bit too far.
Yeah, we're approaching 7 minutes into the period, and only 3 shots total, 2 by Bemidji, 1 by Bowling Green. It just shows kind of how the defense by both teams play.
Bemidji certainly a more defensive team than offensive team, and while BG scored 6 goals against Lake Superior State last week in their weekend sweep, their defense has been the pride of their season and the first season under Dennis Williams. Passanen mugs the Beaver, gets it across to Ozar. Ozar in the third line today with Jaden Grant and Seth Fighton. Very defensive line, that one. Hasn't scored a whole lot this season either. Only 6 total points for that entire line of Ozar, Grant, and Fighton. Irie blows a tire, slams into the boards, gets into the Falcon zone. Korodiak will be the first one back. Mid-season signee gets his pocket picked by Eric Martin. Right winger for Bemidji State. Centering pass is taken away by the Falcons. Left back into the zone. Now here's Yuri Vizenen. Eric Parker will take it back out to the Falcon blue line. Fighton will kick it out of the zone, but won't be the first one there. It'll be Casper Magnuson. 2 Magnusons on this Bemidji State team. Will Magnuson, a left defenseman. Casper Magnuson, a left winger. Parker cross out to the blue line of the Falcons is Wozni. Pass up. Duran gets a stick on it to avoid the icing. Matthias Scholl will stop it behind his goal. Dumped up the ice. McKinley stops it. Center ice. Pass across. And that one will again be a souvenir for a fan as it goes up and into the season ticket holder seats in the Slater Family Ice Arena. No score. 12:21 left to play in the first. Big penalty kill to start for the Falcons, and Sean Connolly pretty much nothing since.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, only 3 shots total. That goes with a power play by Bemidji State. So, yeah, like you mentioned, both kind of a defensive team by Bemidji State, and defense was the heart of the pride for the start of the year, at least, for Bowling Green. Offense is kind of starting to get starting to hum a little bit.
Waters chases A.J. McCulley into the zone. It's dumped all the way back around. The pass is long, and it'll be an icing. Noah Quinn was just a little bit too shallow for that one. It'll head back. The Falcons will get a change. Bemidji will not. Emerson, Martin, and Scardina with Wozni and McKinley. The line for the Falcons, wearing their white jerseys with brown shorts, white socks, white mitts, and white buckets. And Bemidji State wearing their all greens. I like Michigan State a little bit.
Just about to mention, looks like Michigan State out there. Same green, kind of that forest green they have.
Wozni slaps in the zone. BG takes it back around. Scardina behind. Canadian native to McKinley. McKinley tries to slide it over to the inside. Noah Quinn will take it away. Back around to the outside. And the left wing, Scardina still fighting for it. He'll turn that one over. Hustle play by Scardina. Over in front, and Emerson just couldn't settle the puck down. He would have had a wide open chance on Matthias Scholl had he been able to hold on. Noah Quinn, pass to Riley Funk. Funk gets mugged. Covered up is Stover as Funk goes crashing into the half wall. But it'll be a no danger chance against Bowling Green, and we're still no score with 11 minutes left to play in the first.
I feel like you learn a lot about how the weekend's going to go within the first 10 minutes of the game, and we're approaching now 10 minutes, and there hasn't really been much chippiness or no really fighting or any of that. So hopefully we're looking for a clean weekend. Obviously a penalty, but I don't think that was really anything that was purposeful.
Within the first 40 seconds of the game, Passanen took that penalty. We haven't had anything since. Hopefully a clean defensive battle between these two teams, a pitcher's duel, so to speak. Ozar chips it up into the air. Passanen takes it away to the near side. Jaden Grant working. He's pressed up. Passanen out behind. That's a rare spot for the defenseman to be, as Ozar is back on the blue line. He'll defend now. Slap off of his stick by Jackson Panzer. Centerman on the fourth line for Bemidji State, behind the net of Stover. Stover looks out his right side. Ozar with the puck. Clean pass out to Fighton. Fighton takes it up the near side as a couple of his guys get a change. He'll just be wasting time to get a new line of defensemen and forwards on the ice. Almost a wholesale change. Now Fighton will head off as Stover stops the puck behind his goal. Pass to the center. Brett Foe taking it up past his own blue line. Pass up cleanly into Duran. Duran leaves it back for Foe. Foe will hit Tony Fulmer. Tries to clear it over into the center. Ben Duran with a shot and a score. Back wall to the right wheel, and the Falcons take a 1-0 lead.
Ben Duran's one of your most consistent forwards on the team. 19 games played all year, 5 goals, scoring his 6th right there. Pushing now at 10 points now for the Bowling Green Falcons. It was good puck movement, kind of behind the net, got out in front, and buried it.
Tough position for Scholl to be in, to have to look over his left shoulder to see out to the back wall, and then as quick as can be is out to the front, almost too fast to call. Niedermeyer, the assist on that one, only 1, not 2. Ben Duran, this is his first game, if I'm not mistaken, all season that he's not playing on the first line. He was playing most of the season with O'Hara and Waters on the first line. He's playing on the second line today with Foe and Niedermeyer. We'll see if they review and give Foe an assist. But right now it'll stand as a goal for Duran and an assist for Niedermeyer. Draw on the Bemidji State end, back out to the blue line. The Falcons win it. The shot is blocked out at the point. Back around the goal. Scholl looks out his right shoulder now as Bemidji State will take it out of their own zone. Pass to center. Taken away by O'Hara. O'Hara near side working over to the middle, and that'll be stopped with a stick and covered up by Matthias Scholl after 10 minutes. We'll take a break from the action for the media timeout. 1-0. Bowling Green on top with 9:44 left to play over Bemidji State. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU Women's Track and Field hosts the Falcon Early Bird Open on Friday, January 10th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a post-game recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Sixth goal of the season for Ben Duran tilts the ice toward the Falcons as they lead 1-0 over the Bemidji State Beavers, who are visiting in the Slater Family Ice Arena. Jackson Niedermeyer also got his second assist of the season, playing pretty high on lines, higher than he normally does. Normally a third or fourth line guy. He's on the second line with Foe and Duran today, and that choice from Willie is shifting those lines around, is paying dividends as the Falcons find themselves up 1-0.
Yeah, again, just another consistent guy, Niedermeyer. Played 17 games all season. Just got his second assist, finding Ben Duran up front.
Only 2 games this campaign where Niedermeyer has not played. Doesn't score a lot, but he's a mainstay on the penalty kill. Pretty good defensive forward as well. Comparable to the way Scardina and Emerson and Fighton play. Certainly some value on the team for somewhat power forwards. Shot in is blocked. Knocked back down by Martin. Martin chasing it back into the zone is left to Noah Quinn, the left winger. Quinn will dump it all the way back out to his blue line on the left wing. And the Falcons will chase it back down and save it from icing. McKinley. Pass up to Scardina, just a little bit long. I think he got a stick on it, but Bemidji State holds on. The whistle blows. I think the puck was cleared into the bench and thrown back out. 9:19 left to play in the first. 1-0 BG on top. Huge series for Bowling Green as well. I mean, they've completed the sweep against Northern Michigan, one against Lake Superior State as well. This isn't a Michigan team, but 3 sweeps in a row will be huge for their points percentage, especially with Michigan being tied with Michigan Tech, who is also playing today. They're playing Lake Superior State, so that's a big matchup as well. Over in front, taken away by Fighton. Fighton, good stick work. Pass up to the right wing of Owen Ozar. This is the most shifts in the first period Ozar's seen most of the season. Now under 9 minutes left to play in the first period. Norris will go for a hit instead of trying to keep the puck in. The Falcons will gain clean control with a forecheck from Jackson Judding, the first line and starting centerman for the Beavers today. Niedermeyer will go on the forecheck now with Foe and Duran, the scoring line of the Falcons. 3 men on the blue line for BG without the puck. Karodiak and Pasadin, the defenseman, and Karodiak will grab that puck after the icing call against the Beavers.
And you mentioned that 5-game winning streak and a couple sweeps in there. Dennis William in his press conference a few days ago said, "Be happy but not satisfied" to the team, and that's exactly how you should put it. Especially this, not early in the season, but you're not in March, you're not in February, where these games you got to start peaking at the correct time.
There's still a lot of time to blow it. There's still a lot of time to make it look a lot better. Pass it in near side. Pasadin works it up to Foe. Scholl sticks it and knocks it to the right wing of the Falcons. Now Ben Duran will chase it back and bump up with Eric Martin, right winger and a grad student in his 5th year of Calgary, Alberta. 149th game played in the Bemidji State uniform. Now a breakaway. Ben Duran looking for a pass. Saucer across, and Brett Foe was a little bit too deep. Now back up into the slot. Bemidji State will ice it. They had a man breaking away. That was Martin, also an alternate captain. Pass into Sternberg. Nope. He was calling for it and gave a little bit of a job back to Foe, who didn't pass it to him. Now the Falcons will gain possession. I think Sternberg would have had a pretty good slap shot on that puck if Foe had passed it to him from the slot. With the puck now into center. Taken away by Sternberg, who tries to get it inside the O-zone of the Falcons, but it's taken away. Now taking it up is Yuri Väisänen. Väisänen on the near side, into the corner. He's bumped up by Norris. 2 Falcons, 2 Beavers looking for the puck. Gets it away. Sternberg with it now. Clears it back out. Where's a huge hit? Beavers dump it back in. That's Luke Roloffs. Väisänen press up against the boards by Norris. Magnuson looking in as well. 3 Falcons, and the advantage is to their benefit. Pass across to O'Hara. If that landed, he would have had a lot of open ice in front of him. Now works it over into the slot, and there's nobody there for the Falcons to try and put it home. 6:40 left to play in the first. 1-0 Bowling Green. Pass up, neutral ice. Emerson gets a stick on it. Chasing it back is Martin. Looks to be the first one there, but he's not. Adam Fleming is the first one there. He takes it away, near side. Noah Quinn chips it high in the air. Fleming will try and settle it down. Where's a bump from O'Hara? Into the corner, Fleming. Back out to Riley Funk. Funk looking for a pass. He'll get it to the left wing in Magnuson. That's Will Magnuson, the defenseman. Magnuson on the team, along with Kasper Magnuson, who's a Norway native. Funk back out to Magnuson, the defensive Magnuson. Pass across the blue line to his man, Mitch Wolf, the right defenseman. Noah Quinn back out, goes off of a boot of a Falcon. Looking in, Wolf with a shot, and it's kicked away by Christian Stover, who's not at the save pace that he's had in the last couple of matches, couple of 30 save games, 140 save game in his first of the season. Settling it down is A.J. McCulley. Into center ice, dump in, Stover. Looks as Korodiak takes it out from behind. Pass in, looks to be Jaden Grant. Grant ices it back around to Ozar. Ozar tries to go back out to the point, but it's kept in by a Beaver. That's Jake McLean. McLean, oh, what a shot there from Seth Fighton. Quick draw from the right wheel in the Falcon O-zone. It's handled easily by Matthias Scholl, but could have been dangerous if you weren't looking for it.
Goalie was able to get a pad on that. If not, that would have been in the back of the net.
Pretty well aimed shot as well. It wasn't just into the chest quick. It was a great shot from Seth Fighton. We don't see a whole lot of that from him. More of a defensive looking forward. Certainly a bigger guy as well. 6'2", 200 for the left winger. Foe tries to pass it across. The lead pass up to Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer with a little bit of ice. Tries to center it, and he's bumped up a little bit and pressed into the back wall. Saucer pass kept in by Foe. Great play with the glove and drop. And it'll be Kirkland Irie, the leading scorer for Bemidji State, who takes it into the zone. High shot is knocked down by Stover. Wozni peels it off the boards. First one there is Duran. Back to Wozni. Wozni in the corner. Centers the pass himself. Oh, that's dangerous. Pass across. Oh, they are lucky as all get out that didn't land. Kirkland Irie tries to get it over into the middle again. Wozni does a great job of forcing the puck away. Foe tries to get outside of the zone. He does. This will be an icing. I believe it will.
Multiple opportunities right there for Bemidji State.
Wozni had a dangerous pass there.
I believe they were only able to get one shot off of that, but they easily could have had about 3.
I mean, if he was wearing a green jersey, we would be talking about how great of a pass that was.
Oh, yeah.
Lucky that they weren't able to convert offensively. 1-0 Bowling Green. 3:49 left to play in a highly defensive first period, and Ben Duran a little bit too quick on the first draw. Now we'll go for the second, and he'll lose it to Jopi. Jopi back to Wolf. Wolf shot in, blocked by Norris. Got down on one knee for that one. Ben Duran over to Wozni. Wozni to Foe. Foe still on the near side corner, trying to take it back around. He'll take it through the defensive Falcon slot, and he gets mugged. Back around, Austin Jopi will not be able to turn the puck back over. Will Magnuson will collect in his own zone. Aggressive pass up, as we've seen a lot. Not a whole lot of taking their time from Bemidji State. They like to push. Sternberg with the puck into Waters near side. Pass across through the neutral zone. Getting tied up with Issa Peric is Karodiak. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Ryan O'Hara, the captain. And it'll be offsides against the Falcons. Not surprising that we see such a defensive battle from two teams that have, Bowling Green's had some scoring struggles most of the season. Bemidji State scoring struggles as well, both teams with defense being the pride of their game. Pass into Waters. Waters takes it up through center. Pass to the far side of Sternberg. Sternberg takes a slap in, and it's knocked away by Scholl. McKinley will take it. Falcons all getting back on sides, looking for a pass. Centering, and McKinley was there, but there was a green jersey in the way. It looked to be Riley Funk. Got in the way and knocked it up into the netting. We'll get another stoppage with 2:40 left to play in the first. And BG scoring a 1-0 lead on the goal by Ben Duran.
Again, just some sneaky puck movement right there where, you're not really expecting the puck to be, but it's in the right place at the right time, and they're able to get some shots off of it. Was able to capitalize off the one a little earlier.
Scardina for the draw. Tried to center it was Martin. Scardina will take it back out to the blue line. Across it is Passanen. Passanen with a shot in is blocked by McLean. Over in front. Emerson tried to get a slap on it, but his stick got tangled up with another. Now Scardina looking for a pass. Over to Wozni. Wozni is intercepted by Dante Lawson, a fourth line right winger, as Bemidji State takes it in. Now McLean looking for a pass high in the air. Standing straight up is Stover as he nabs that one out of the cold air in the Slater Family Ice Arena. We'll drop it for a face-off in the Falcon zone. Just over 2 minutes left to play in the first. 1-0. Ben Duran's goal, the 6th of the season for him, with Niedermeyer's second assist of the season. It's the only scoring we've had so far in this game, with only 5 shots on goal for BG and 3 for the Beavers. Billy Emanen in the wheel, and he'll be kicked out. Hasn't had a lot of shifts so far in this game, as O'Hara will have to step in. Pretty good face-off man for a left winger. Centering pass. Oh, shot in. Stover keeps this one away. Luckily, it was right in his leg pads. Wolf getting bullied by Waters. He blows a tire. No tripping, and some of the Beaver fans were slightly upset about that. Eric Martin getting bullied by Emanen behind the goal. Shot in from Judding. Jackson Judding, the centerman, took a low angle shot. A little bit too much to ask for. He clears it back out to Wolf. Wolf out at the point. The D-man dumps it back in. Kirkland Irie gets it back around to Judding. Judding, 2 players behind for the Beavers. They try to get it back around, but nobody on the offensive side as they turn it over to the Falcons. And Ryan O'Hara, who gets it outside the blue line. Beavers will have to dump back in, and with 1:20, Falcons will maintain the puck. Casper Magnuson, the left winger, wearing number 28. This pass, center ice hit, turns it back over to the Falcons. A bad pass by Karodiak, but he made up for it by turning the puck back over. Pass to the near side, Grant can't hold on to it as much. Where's a hit from Flamant? Pass across, neutral zone, Karodiak. Oh, big hit against Karodiak. Oh, and another hit. Added right back from Magnuson. Crossing passes behind the goal. Jopi back around. McLean shot in is just wide left as Fighton puts a hit on and clears it outside the zone. Now Austin Jopi again, this time on the right side for the Beavers with 30 seconds left. Dumps it in behind. Stover pass to Sternberg. Sternberg into Foe. Foe center ice. Where's a hit? That one's legal. Duran with a shot. Oh, that one was close. Tried to go upper deck, and he couldn't get it to fall. Back out to center ice. 15 seconds left to play. Falcons leading 1-0. Trying to go in intermission with that same score. Martin will have to chase it back in. Falcons with the puck still in the O-zone. Passanen puts a hit on, and we've got a little bit of chippiness at the end as the head coach of Bemidji State, Tom Saratori, in his 28th season is livid that the hit on Riley Funk was illegal. As in the intensity level, we went from 0 to 100 in those last 2 minutes, but it didn't result in any goals. 1-0 Bowling Green. We will take a step back for a few minutes as we prepare for our Rick Crow sponsored intermission report. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU Hockey takes on the Bemidji State Beavers for the second game of a 2-game series at Slater Family Ice Arena on Saturday, January 11th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Sean Connolly at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hovey on the BGSU volleyball team, and these are my Falcon 4 off-day activities. My first one would be spend time with family and friends if they're in town, because I love them. My second one would be read my book, because it's relaxing. My third one would be go get coffee, because who doesn't love coffee? And my fourth one would be go get groceries so I can make food for the week.
BG men's basketball continues MAC play with a big matchup against the Buffalo Bulls on Tuesday, January 14th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Artie Abrego and Tyler Kavelitz will call the game, starting with pregame at 6:45 on Falcon Radio.
Sweet strawberry icing. You're in Goodwill, and just past that vintage denim jacket you spot miniature donut earrings. You lean in. That's the scent of shopping success. Because at Goodwill, every item you buy funds local job training and more. So bring home those donut earrings and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
On October 26, 2024, BGSU cornerback Jordan Oladokin snagged 2 interceptions, including a pick 6 in BG's 41-26 win over rival Toledo. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus was on the call on Falcon Radio.
Minute 13 left to go. Ball picked off. Jordan Oladokin. He's got Green in front of him. Jordan Oladokin. 10-5. Touchdown Bowling Green. Ball game. 41-26, Bowling Green wins this year's edition of the Battle of I-75 up here in the Glass Bowl.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, Let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back to the Slater Family Ice Arena, the Rick Crow sponsored first intermission report. Longtime listener of WBGU 88.1 FM's BGSU hockey coverage and a longtime fan of BGSU hockey since the national championship season. Quite a season to get into it. Rick Crow, thank you for sponsoring our away travel this season with BGSU hockey. The Falcons find themselves up 1-0 with the goal from Ben Duran, the 6th of the season for him. Niedermeyer is second assist of the season. What did you see on that play from the Falcons? 9:38 into that first period, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, I've alluded to it a little bit, but just some good puck movement, not just on that play, but throughout the whole period, where they're kind of creating opportunities where you wouldn't think that there would be opportunities. And that one, it was kind of stuck behind the back of the net, or behind the net a little bit, and Duran was just in the right place at the right time, right out in front, and he was able to capitalize.
That could be foreshadowing in what we're going to have to see this weekend, pretty much, to see some scoring, because that was perfect puck movement from the Falcons. Matthias Scholl, the goaltender for Bemidji State, really had no chance. They played very well in that shift especially, and they got rewarded for it. Ben Duran on the second line for the first time this season, along with Niedermeyer and Foe, and they get a point from it, so that line is up to 22 total points, 11 goals, 11 assists. The passing for Bowling Green has been pretty good. They've had some decent offensive chances, but not a whole lot of shots on goal. As we see, they only have 5 to Bemidji State's 3, although Bemidji State has more total shots. This is really looking like it's going to be a defensive battle between Bowling Green and Bemidji State, and one that should be pretty exciting, especially if we get the intensity that we had at the end of that first period.
Yeah, near the 10-minute mark, I also mentioned about how, hasn't really been too chippy, none of that. But the last 2 minutes, we saw a lot of that, just kind of big hits, old-fashioned hockey. But the second they got up, they were just kind of back at it, giving the next hit, and it seemed like. So maybe that's what we see in the next 2 periods.
It's going to be huge for Bowling Green to turn a lot of that, that defense into offense, as we've seen Bemidji State not take a whole lot of time behind their own goal, just maintaining the puck. They've tried to force the puck deep a lot of times. They've tried to have breakout passes, and that's what Bowling Green is going to have to do if they want to stay on top of Bemidji State. Sean, going into this second period, where still at even strength, only one penalty for the Falcons. They played clean. They played good defense. They've scored on their real good opportunity, the only one that they've had so far in this game. What are you really looking to see from the Falcons to give them the best chance of scoring again in the second and winning this game against Bemidji?
Yeah, again, I mentioned it in the pregame. I'm waiting for that one power play that Bowling Green can have, and if they can get that to go up 2-0, I think that's what you'll see in the second period. Then they'll kind of start playing their game. When you're in control of the game, I know that they say that a 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey, but when you play a big defensive team like this, I think that's also really, it kind of just cancels out. So I'm waiting to see when we do get on the power play, because eventually we will. And yeah, so if we can capitalize on that, go up 2-0, and we'll see what happens after that.
We will take a step back during this Rick Crow sponsored first intermission report, and we'll bring you back in just a couple of minutes, and we'll go around the CCHA, tell you some scores from the other games that are going on in the Central Collegiate Hockey Association. You're listening to BGSU Hockey and the Rick Crow intermission report on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU men's basketball heads to Muncie to take on the Ball State Cardinals on Saturday, January 11th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
My name is Jim. I'm a veteran, and I lost both legs in Vietnam. My victory was proving that disability is not a limitation.
I'm Julius. I'm a veteran. My victory was going from homeless to home.
At DAV, we're on a mission, helping veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned.
I'm Cece. My victory was finishing my education.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
BGSU women's basketball heads to Oxford for a battle against the Miami, Ohio Redhawks on Saturday, January 11th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Caden Knapp at 12:45 for pregame and 1 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back to the Rick Crow First Intermission Report, longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of WBGU 88.1 FM. We've come to around the CCHA portion of the Intermission Report. Bowling Green, of course, on top of Bemidji State 1-0 with the Ben Duran goal. We have a 1-0 lead for Northern Michigan over Minnesota State, which is absolutely fantastic considering that the only 2 points Minnesota State has had all season in their 18 record this season. Their only 2 points that they've taken in the CCHA is in a shootout win over Minnesota State in their home barn. They're away. They are in their home barn today, and they've already taken a 1-goal lead after one period. Ryan Duguay and Jacob Altricher and Aiden Hutchinson with the 2 assists. Not the Lions' Aiden Hutchinson, defenseman Aiden Hutchinson for Northern Michigan, but they take a 1-0 lead. That's going to be big for all those teams at the top to see if the bottom team in the CCHA can beat the top team.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. I didn't know Aiden Hutchinson's knee was fully replaced, and I didn't know he was playing hockey. That would probably be the last thing I expected.
Yeah.
But, like I said, these standings are so critical, especially this time of year. You know, obviously you can make the statement at the end of the year, you know, when you got to peak at the right time. Win your games, win your games now, and you don't have to worry about having to worry about other things happening towards the end of the season to try and get that home field advantage or home ice advantage.
And the other game that's going on currently, besides Bowling Green, Bemidji State, and Minnesota State Northern Michigan, is Lake Superior State and Michigan Tech, only a little bit away from each other in a drive, and they're at a deadlock right now, 0-0, and they've had pretty much the same amount of shots, blocks, face-offs won and lost. They're really in a battle right now. Derek Malahy and Rourke Appleby, the 2 goaltenders, are at 5 and 6 saves apiece. We'll keep you updated on that game as well, as that one is going to have some playoff implications, as Lake Superior State is 5th. Northern Michigan is, Lake Superior State is 5th. Michigan Tech is currently tied for 3rd with Bowling Green, and then Ferris State St. Thomas, which is a very good matchup. Ferris State is near the bottom, so is St. Thomas, but they're trying to put a mid-season rise up into a home playoff. Hopefully they are in St. Thomas in Mendota Heights, Minnesota. Ferris State is the away team, a little bit lower than them in the rankings, but they will start at 8:07, so in the second intermission we'll have an update on that game. Bowling Green on top of Bemidji State 1-0 on the Ben Duran goal. We'll take a step back for a couple of minutes and bring you back the second period of action. You're listening to BGSU Hockey and the Rick Crow Intermission Report on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Women's Heart is in a race to save lives. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. It's 80% preventable if you know the facts. Millions of women are living with or at risk of heart disease. Get educated. See your doctor. Know the facts. To win this race, we all have to do it together. Our hearts beat as one. To learn more, visit womenheart.org.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Hey. Oh, hey, Deb. I thought you were the radon test guys.
The who test guys?
Didn't you see the papers Sunday? The Surgeon General issued another lung cancer warning.
Oh, like the cigarette warning?
Yeah. They're saying we have to get our houses tested for radon.
I don't smell any radon in my house.
That's because radon is an odorless, colorless, tasteless gas that seeps into your house from underground.
Does this story have a happy ending?
Yeah. You'll be a lot happier once you get your house tested.
My name is Malcolm Johnson Jr., senior wide receiver, and my Falcon 4 favorite NFL teams are the Ravens, because it's in my hometown, the Texans, because Stephon Diggs, and he's from Maryland, the New York Giants, because, well, I love their colors, and the Commanders, because my favorite NFL player is Sean Taylor. Go Falcons.
Falcons back on the ice. Beavers back on the ice in a second. Christian Stover and Matthias Scholl will go to their respective nets as they switch sides, and we're in a 1-0 BG lead over Bemidji State, looking to capitalize on their 6th straight win, as they are currently at a winning record, 10-7-2, 6-4-2 in the CCHA, and tied for 3rd with Michigan Tech in the CCHA standings. Ben Korak here with Sean Connolly from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Sean, what do you want to see from the Falcons going into the second period to take a step forward and hopefully put some goals on the board?
Yeah, now that it's on our end, the Bemidji State goalies now that are on our end, hopefully some more shots on goal. You know, both teams only got 5, and Bowling Green's actually at the top of the CCHA for shots on goal average per game with 32.2 per game. So hoping they kind of let loose this period and fire some shots.
A couple of things we heard from Willie before the season started. He likes shot volume, and we've progressively got more and more shot volume as the season has went on. He likes to score goals. The offense has got better consistently as the season has gone on. And he likes play without the puck, and we've seen the defense be absolutely outstanding nearly all season. A lot of hustle from the Falcons, as right here is the first hit of the period, and it comes pretty early off of Max Martin. Norris across, shot in, deflected in front by Max Martin, who's putting another hit on. It'll clear back into the Falcon D zone. Chasing it is Jackson Judding, who will meet Dalton Norris down there. It'll be an icing against Bemidji State. But that's 2 straight hits for Max Martin to start this period, and we'll see right there where the aggressiveness is going for Bowling Green. I don't know exactly what they're calling here because it was an icing against Bemidji, but the face-off is going to be in the Falcon D zone. Quick shot blocked. Spinning to the ice is Emerson, who got on all fours for that one. Shot goes wide right from the point. That was Mitch Wolf with that shot. Crossover behind. Judding takes it away. That's back to Eric Martin. Martin was being held on to a little bit. Maybe could have got a call there, but the referee says no. Scardina puts a hit on, trying to get it back out and outside the blue line. Looking for a pass, a cross shot, and a score for Bemidji State. Left side of Christian Stover to the right side, and he gets beat. There was no defenseman there to take the man in front of the blue paint away. And as we start this second period, less than a minute into the second period, we have a 1-1 tie, Bemidji State and Bowling Green.
Yeah, 45 seconds in for Bemidji State, and just a wide open net. You know, one of those goals that was kind of just given to him, as Stover was just on the complete opposite side when the puck got to him. So nothing you can really do about that unless you made a heck of a save by Stover. But you know, that's not really anything that Stover can do about it.
Noah Quinn and Kirkland Irie, the assist on that goal by Noah Quinn. That's the only assist on that goal as well. First shot on goal of the game for Quinn, and he converts it into a goal and ties the game 1-1.
Yeah, first time we've mentioned Kirkland Irie's name, and he's, I'd say, definitely Bemidji's best player. He leads the team in goals and assists.
17 total points now for Irie. Shot is blocked by his own man, Magnuson. It's kicked over into the slot. The Falcons take it away. O'Hara flips it outside the blue line. Waters will give chase. Is knocked back in. O'Hara sliding in. Takes the puck away, looking for a pass. He gets slapped on the stick. Shot across. Nobody there to convert it for the Falcons, and that'll turn it back over. The outlet pass by Väisänen is off of the leg of O'Hara. O'Hara on the near side will have to settle this puck down. He goes for the body instead. Now goes for the puck. Dumps it back into the zone. Perrick back out. Niedermeyer gains position. He's tripped up. Big hit there. That'll be a penalty against Gustav Stjernberg. And we're going to have a penalty kill for the Falcons, I believe. And Bemidji State will get a prime opportunity here after scoring their own goal a second ago.
Looks to be a second penalty kill now. Falcons will have to overcome. Looking to see who it was on. You mentioned Stjernberg.
And they might review this to see if it's going to be a major. He did go for a big hit. I didn't see if he got the head a little bit too low. We don't have a replay. So Tommy Pasanen took the lead on the team for penalty in minutes with 27. Now Stjernberg's in the box, who's at least going to tie that at 27.
Well, clearly that upper body isn't bothering him too much, because that was a upper body hit he laid.
Yuri Väisänen got worse for wear at the end of that one. Although there's no pushing and shoving that resulted in it. So,
again, I think these just two teams are very well disciplined in terms of that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously you'll see that in any college game, just kind of that chippiness and a little bit of that fighting. But we haven't really seen too much of the chippiness after the whistle blows. It's kind of been all in play, just old-fashioned hockey. You get hit, get back up, start doing your job again.
You are right. He didn't look like he was going for a big hit. It looked like he was going for a hit, and it just so happened that Väisänen was either not prepared for it, head maybe a little bit too low. Hopefully we don't get a boarding or anything here. Here's the call. Minor penalty, 2 minutes for interference, actually, which is an odd one, I think. But it's 2 minutes no matter what the actual call is. So after Bemidji State gets a goal by Noah Quinn, assisted by Kirkland Irie, they will send the power play unit back on that consists of that first line, along with Yuri Väisänen. And they'll try and convert another one in this tie game with 18:20 left to play in the second period. BG takes it away, looking to backhand ice it up the ice. Now trying to get it to Fighton, and he can't do it. Magnuson gloves and drops a forward on the blue line. He'll chip back into center ice. Everybody on sides. The Beavers looking to get it all the way in. Magnuson on the near side will not get the puck. It's intercepted by Stover, who will try and get it high off the glass and out of the zone, but he'll get it into the net, and it'll be a face-off in his own zone now.
Yeah, I know I mentioned the well-discipline of Bowling Green and Bemidji State, but I'm sure Dennis Williams won't be too happy about the, I wouldn't say unnecessary hit, but he didn't really have to go for the hit right there to get him into the box. But that's just, called playing hockey. At the end of the day, you got to hit somebody.
Judding goes for the face-off, along with Jaden Grant, who is a staple on the penalty kill now for the Falcons. Pass in, trying to backhand pass. Pasanen ices it all the way back down slowly. And this will waste a decent amount of time for the Falcons. They're 1 for 1 on penalty kills in this game. Bemidji State coming into today had a 188 power play. For comparison, the Falcons had a 214, so a sizable amount less able on the power play. Martin pass all the way across to the far side. Now into the near side. Noah Quinn's got a goal in this game. Dumps it back down. Parker tries to get it outside the blue line, but it's kept in nicely at the blue line. Putting a hit on. Slap shot over into the middle. The slot takes it away. The Falcons ice it back up. They'll get another dump and another change. Another thing to think about as well is the Falcon bench is now on the opposite side of their goal, so they have to travel a little bit farther to get their guys on and off the ice.
That's a little thing that makes, honestly, a major difference when it comes to a penalty kill.
Pass by Noah Quinn was just a little bit long. He's had a long shift here this entire power play as there's 25 seconds left in the man advantage for Bemidji State. They haven't really had a great chance yet. Quinn out to the far side, now back out to the point. This is Patrick Satasari, low-scoring defensive line on the ice now. Shot in front, taken away by the Falcons. Tommy Passanen with the stick to Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer with open ice, and he'll lightly tap this one down, kill off the rest of this penalty kill. The Falcons 2 for 2 with a man down. Score still tied 1-1. Both goals in this game coming from even strength. Immonen with a light forecheck, pretty much just standing there with his stick out, trying to entertain a passing lane. Now Parker with the puck. Off the glass into Waters. Waters can't get it off outside of the zone. The puck has spent almost the entirety of this period in the Falcon zone, mainly because of that power play. Shot in is knocked down in front. Falcons, oh gosh. That shot goes into the stands. Korodiak just sent that one a little bit high, trying to go off the glass. We'll get another face-off in the Falcon end.
Just missed the netting, and again, that's kind of a scary situation because that kind of gets it into the fans where, you know, when you're open in on without the netting, you kind of got to be expecting. It's like a foul ball in baseball, which obviously they put a net in the major leagues around the entire infield, but when a puck comes flying, you got to be ready for it.
Face-off won by Bemidji, but it's cleared all the way back down into their zone, so they'll waste some time coming back to get it. 15:30 left to play in the second period. Even strength, 1-1, Bemidji State and Bowling Green. Jutting pass to the far side. Irie dumps it back in. Stover reaches out with the stick to try and stop it, but it's a little bit long for him. Now this will be Wozni. Takes it up the near side. Pass across his own blue line into Foe. Foe down the center. Now he'll work it down to the inside. Slaps at the stick of Eric Martin. Back to Jutting. Jutting at the far side. Off of the half wall. Stopped by Stover. He'll glove it and get a new set of guys if Willie wants it with 15 left to play in the second. Pretty strong offensive presence for Bemidji State early in this second period, as we saw strong defensive presences by both teams in the first. Pretty similar plays that were being scored on. Falcons win the faceoff. Taking it up into central ice is McKinley. McKinley is blocked with the skate. Still in central ice. Will be settled and knocked down by Luke Roloffs, playing defenseman as the extra skater for Bemidji. McCauley can't handle it. Roloffs gets it all the way back around, and Paston will chase it back down in the Falcons zone with light forecheck. Cross to Norris. Norris with a deep pass into Emerson. Emerson will chase this one back down to Wolf. Mitch Wolf gets it back across to McCauley on the other side. Third line and a first line defenseman playing together before they can get off. Now taking it all the way down in is Yuri Vaisanen. Tripping call. Well, oh, there was no penalty on that. I can't believe there was not a penalty.
Dennis Williams with his hand up like he wanted the call. And
pretty heated on that one as well. Looked like Max Martin was spun out in the middle there. Funk takes it back around. Out to the point. Cross to the near side. Slap shot wide left. Passanen tried to get his body in the way, but he was a little bit too far in. It goes to the back wall. Bemidji trying to get it back out to the point. Take it all the way back out is Noah Quinn, who's probably been the best player for Bemidji so far in this game. Pretty good defensively. And that should have been a whistle as well, as he got the shot into head. I can't believe that they're letting some of these go. Flameng working all the way in. His shot goes wide left, is gloved and covered up by Stover. And the play will stop finally, as we've had a little bit of chippiness going on in the last couple of minutes. Nothing too major, but a couple of missed calls by the referees, I think.
Yeah, I mean, in any sport, you say let them play. You know, don't have the refs interfere. But a few of those calls in a span of about a minute and a half could have been 2 penalties.
Norris got his head pretty close to the boards there, if not got hit with the head in the boards, which, as we know, is a penalty almost every time. A tripping in the middle, possibly just a center ice hit. Face-off won by Bemidji. Their shot is errant. Sadasari with the puck. Back around to Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer to Parker. Parker back to Stjernberg, who tries to get it back up the ice. The Falcons can't really seem to clear it outside of their own zone. The pressure by Bemidji has been too intense for them. Now Niedermeyer takes it out into center. Whistle blows.
Taking offsides.
And I think an offsides on Foe as he was trying to complete a check, but he was a little bit beyond the blue line. He apologizes to Niedermeyer for that as he had a little bit of a breakaway there. Face-off just outside the zone. Emanen, Waters, and O'Hara. Forward line, Wozni and McKinley, the defensive line for the Falcons. And the first line of Bemidji State, who's inhabited most of the shift time today, of Irie, Judding, and Martin, is back out for Bemidji as well, with Magnuson and Wolf, the first line of defensemen. So starters on for Bemidji, who's had great shifts in this game. McKinley dumps it back. Falcons mug, still trying to keep it in center ice. They'll clear back into their D zone, but they'll chase it without numbers. Wozni wears a hit, gets it away. Stick work from McKinley, who gets it over into the center. Open ice for Emanen. Emanen passed the near side, and it's slapped out by Roloffs. The Falcons possess again, but they'll have to regroup. Up off of the half wall and into the bench, and we'll have a whistle and a stoppage, and we'll get another face-off in central ice with 12:20 left to play in the second period. 1-1, still the score, Bowling Green and Bemidji.
Just one shot by Bowling Green. 8 minutes into the period, Bemidji State is dominating the offensive side of the puck.
Noah Quinn, the goal in this period, the only one, assisted by Kirkland Irie. I'm sorry, Kirkland Irie was actually given the goal. They just flipped it. So Irie with his ninth goal of the season. And Noah Quinn with his first assist of the season. A third line left winger with a first line left winger. And face-off is going to be Grant versus Yuri Väisänen. Grant loses his stick, is dropped over in the center. Shot, oh, just off the post. Scholl being bailed by the iron there as Bemidji takes it away. Pass to Jopi, and it's a little bit long for him.
They'll call it a goalie's best friend for a reason, as that one just kind of went on the opposite side that you wanted it to. Almost a goal. Fans reacted like it was. I can't blame them.
First shift in a while for Fighton and Ozar. Shot in is deflected by Korodiak over in front. Puck is lost. Now it's covered up by Stover, as he'll get his guys a change and reduce the damage that's already been close to being done over on his side in this period. 1-1, 11:42 left to play in the second. We've seen a decent amount of Jaden Grant in this game, but that third line hasn't seen a lot of shifts. Seth Fighton and Owen Ozar as well, the lowest scoring of the four lines. And immediately they'll jump back off for Martin, Scardina, and Emerson. Eric Parker and just to be Ivan Korodiak as well. Scardina trying to get it outside the blue line. Now it's Parker. Parker gets it to Emerson on the right wing defensive end of the Falcons. Now taking it away is Magnuson. Back out to the point. Shot in is blocked over in front. And it goes high off the glass and out in front of Stover. Kicks back to the near side. Martin holds onto it. Parker pass up off the half wall. Trying to gain position is Emerson, but the Beavers will hold on. Now Funk tries to clear it off the ice. Is off the knee of a Falcon and into the D zone. Foe puts a hit on. McKinley presses up. Tries to pass it outside the blue line. And that'll be an offside warning against Bemidji. They'll all get onside. Now chase the puck. Bowling Green, pass up. Niedermeyer with a little bit of a breakaway. He can get it to Duran here. Duran with the shot. He could have made it two, but he sent it just high. What a great chance coming right off the bench and right in by Ben Duran. Now pass to the near side again. Duran working in, now looking for a pass. Is rejected by Scholl on a chance from Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer's had some great shifts in this game as well. Pass up to McLean. Jake McLean working in, tripping over the stick. Shot in, just wide, I think, and this goal came off. A little bit confused as to what happened there.
Yeah, that stick in the middle of the ice, broken stick.
I think Sternberg blew a tire off of that stick, like he tripped on it.
And then I don't know what happened with the goal. Maybe it was just a bang play, and then
the shot went
I know they want to
high.
get that stick off.
The shot went high. I think Stover rose up to try and stop the high shot, and he must have caught it and knocked it off. An odd-looking play there. 10 minutes left to go in the second.
I mean, talk about some plays, though, by Ben Duran. He had one just a little too much mustard on it, couldn't bury it in the top shelf. And then another great pass behind the net, couldn't find a guy out in front, but he's been the one making the plays today.
We're seeing BG attack high against Scholl, who is only 5'10", quite a short goaltender, comparable to the Falcons' Sally Volo, who's the third stringer, who stands at 5'11", but both BG tenders. Stover, who's starting today, is 6'2". Cole Moore, who started a lot of the season, is 6'6". Chance for Ben Duran. He's got a goal in this game, as well as Kirkland Irie, who's got the Bemidji goal. Kurodia gets it back around. Good pass into the center. O'Hara chips it all the way across the neutral zone. Kurodia with the puck, working all the way in. He's pressed all the way down to the ice. Some Falcon fans wanting a call, but there was nothing there. The puck was too near. Irie on the near side now as a left winger. Back around to Martin. Eric Martin. Over into the center as he loses it. Now the Falcons take it out into central ice. The Beavers will hold on. Good move there, and an even better move on the defensive end. Jaden Grant hits this one. Brody Waters hits this one with his hand and drops it. Pass up into center. Magnuson on the far side, working in, passing and playing defense on him, presses him down to the ice. Now a pass across, wide open, shot in, just high, up into the netting. And a good save from Christian Stover as that shot by Issa Perrick was very close. 9:02 left to play in the second period. We'll take a step back from the action. 1-1, Bowling Green and Bemidji State. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU Hockey takes on the Bemidji State Beavers for the second game of a two-game series at Slater Family Ice Arena on Saturday, January 11th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Sean Connolly at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hey everyone, Falcon Media Sports Director Lucas Kleinmeyer here. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Standing up for what's right. Helping out when things go wrong. Seeking the truth and speaking our minds. Not just making records, but breaking them. Leading the way behind the camera, beyond the runway, and on the silver screen. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
Bemidji State takes the lead back in shots on goal, 10-8. They're tied with the Falcons 1-1 as they've pulled out the stops of the offense here in the second period. Ben Korak here with Sean Connolly from the Falcon Media Sports Network. For all BGSU hockey sports news and updates, go to bgfalconmedia.com or BG_FMSN on Twitter. And the rebroadcast of this, all other BGSU hockey games and video content for the Falcon Media Sports Network, go to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. BG tied with Bemidji 1-1, and we've seen some pretty good defense from the Falcons. Not as good as that first period, and we've seen some better offense from Bemidji as well.
Yeah, Bemidji's now out shooting Bowling Green, not just in the second period alone, but now in the overall game, 10-8. So we've seen some shines of light for the Bowling Green offense, but it's been pretty much all Bemidji on the other end of the ice.
They've really only had a couple of great quality chances, and it's nice to see them capitalizing on more chances than they have been, or more efficiently, I should say, as one of their few chances has been the Ben Duran goal that he scored. Another one, Ben Duran, that he set high. We're definitely looking for shots to be going high now, as we've seen the Falcons do a lot today, and makes sense considering Matthias Scholl is only 5'10", quite short for a goaltender in the current state of hockey in college and pro. Ozar takes the path to the inside. And Fulmer gets it all the way back around. Centering pass is taken away and knocked out by Eric Martin. Now Parker with the puck. Oh, almost turns it over in the center. Puts a hit on Kirkland Irie, who was given the forecheck. That was a great forecheck by Irie. Parker didn't think he was in that tight. Irie back all the way around, tries to take a shot. It's blocked by Scardina. Over in front, chipped up in the air and caught by Stover. And he'll glove that one and knock it down. You know, Sean, I don't know if you were able to watch the Lake Superior State Series a week ago. I was able to because I purchased Midco Sports, which you shouldn't do. Anybody at home should just continue listening to WBGU 88.1 FM. But the only goal Stover gave up last weekend was one that was a shot in front on the ice, chipped up into the air and over the top of him. And quite lucky. He was that play away from a shutout. First time in a long while for Bowling Green to shut out somebody on a weekend. 2019, I believe, was the last time.
That was the last time they made the tournament as well. It was that 2019 team. Should have beat Minnesota Duluth in overtime. I think they had the lead late. Unfortunately, they gave up two unanswered goals.
They beat them in the national championship in '84, though, so that's all that matters. Magnuson back across. Mitch Wolf with a shot in, and it's taken away as the defenseman shot in. Now Casper Magnuson tries to push it back all the way around. Yuri Väisänen back across inside to Will Magnuson. Magnuson to the other Magnuson, back out to the Magnuson at the blue line. Pressured up is Emerson, who's showing some frustration here as he checks off with some anger. BG trying to turn it over in the O-zone. Now is chipped out to center. O'Hara waiting to get on sides. Foe with the puck, taking it all the way in, trying to get his guys a change. He'll dump it all the way back around. Niedermeyer will leave it for the D-man on the blue line. Into Duran. Duran turns over the puck. Noah Quinn, lead pass. This is a breakaway for Adam Flameng. He's knocked over in front and it is knocked away by the Falcons, who played very good defense on that breakaway. Flameng was wide open in the middle.
They had a 3-on-2.
And Stover, Karodiak, and what looks to be Tommy Pasanen came up clutch on that play right there. Glove, drop, trying to get it back out to the blue line. Now it's just pressed up. Eric Martin pressing up against the corner. Calling for the pass is Karodiak. Niedermeyer tries to knock it down with the skate. Taken by A.J. McCulley. McCulley into neutral zone. Out to center ice. Hit with the puck. Taking away his Foe. Foe with the puck. He's hooked. Knocked down. Duran. Flameng chips it up the ice. Still battling for it in front of the Bemidji State bench. They go for a change as well. They're right there. Why not? Norris now working in there. And it's still pressed up. Now Norris will come away with the puck, trying to get it wide. He's really battling with Jake McLean on the near side boards on the right wing of the Falcons. Now Emanen up to the center. Bemidji State, where's a hit? Stjernberg with the pushing end of that hit. I'm still of the opinion that he would leave the NCAA in hits if the stat was tracked by college hockey. Shot in, back around to the right side of Stover. He'll knock this one away. Stjernberg with another hit. Waters with the puck now. Out behind. He'll clear it back out to the blue line, and the Falcons just cannot get this puck outside of their own zone. A little bit late. Can't get a change either, as Bemidji is benefiting from their bench being close to Stover. And they just keep getting guys on and off, and the Falcons are really dragging. Stjernberg gets it back around to Waters. Waters chips it up the ice into neutral. Magnuson will have to settle it down. The Falcons will finally get a change. Foe off. He was gassed at the end of that one. It'll be a couple of shifts before he's back out. McKinley leaves it back. Eric Martin, where's the hit? You know that first line for Bemidji is going to be tired in a few minutes as well. They got to play a whole nother period now, and they've inhabited a lot of the minutes for the Beavers. Shot in, chipped up the ice. Pasanen in the center. O'Hara takes it away. Off the half wall, puts a hit on. Ryan O'Hara goes for the body against Mitch Wolf. Similar in size, even though Wolf's a defenseman.
I picked him and picked the stick, so does a hit count for a point?
I don't think it does. I think we're only counting scoring there. The way it's looking, nobody's going to win in this game. Niedermeyer and Duran, the only points for pick the stick. Niedermeyer with a half for his assist, and Duran with the 1 for his goal. None of the Falcon Media Sports Network chose him. Lucas chose Christian Stover. Tyler chose Brett Foe. Sean, you chose Ryan O'Hara. I chose Vili Emanen. Chipped up, Grant off the board. Glove dropped. Fighting, trying to cross it over into the center. Emanen chips it back around. Ozar is going to go for this one. Gains possession, cross over. And again, that was Fighting. That was in the right place at the right time, but he gets tangled up with the stick of Issa Perik. Kurodia forces Väisänen away, turns over the puck. Neutral ice. Going for the hit is Fighting. The whistle blows. And I think we might get an offsides on the Falcons there. Stopping play with 3:37 left to play in the second. 1-1 still the score. That's a first whistle since we had the media timeout at 9:10. And still a pitcher's duel between these two teams. 1-1. 1 goal in the second period by Kirkland Irie, his 9th of the season. A goal in the first period by Ben Duran, his 6th of the season. And that's the only goal scoring we've got in this game. BG still trailing in shots on goal, 10-8 that we had at that media timeout at the 9:10 mark. We're at 3:30 left to play. With the puck now is Emerson. Emerson takes a long loop back around to the blue line. Shot in off the half wall. Gaining possession is Duran. Centering pass out to Scardina, and Scardina's just a little bit late. That would have been a chance if Scardina had connected his stick to that. Dalton Norris, puck up to Niedermeyer. It goes off his stick, but it's whistled dead as I think maybe a Falcon was offside. No, we're going to get an icing, so it did not hit the stick of Niedermeyer. We'll get another face-off to the right of Christian Stover. Both goaltenders have played pretty well, haven't been tested a whole lot. They've each allowed a goal. Scholl has 7 saves, Stover has 9. Fighting for it after the draw. BG trying to get it outside the blue line. Did they do it? No, they did not. It stays in and it's safe. Jutting, where's a hit from Norris. Norris still trying to get it out and around. Martin. Eric Martin tries to dump it back in. Irie. Back around the horseshoe. Norris puts a hit on. Martin again behind Stover still. The puck just can't get away. Now the Falcons do. Taking it all the way into center is Duran. Emerson gets his pocket picked. Now it's back down into the zone as the Falcons will try and regroup this one. Back out to Irie. Irie looking for a pass. He'll get it across. Kicked and left in by Martin. Trying to center the pass. Shot in. Blocked by Passanen. Into center. BG with the puck. Trying to get it across. Good move by Waters, and it's knocked all the way back away. Passanen will chase this one back into the zone. Dante Lawson, a fourth-line right winger for Bemidji, now spun out as he gets hit by Passanen. With a 9-iron chipped out into the center. High arcing. Pass over into the slot. Just a little bit wide for Jackson Panzer. And it again will get tangled up behind Stover. Out to the far side. Bemidji will settle it in their own zone as Wolf clears it back around into the neutral zone. Fightin' takes it inside the blue line. Falcons playing offense now, and it's taken away by Bemidji. Turn over to Jake McLean. Jake McLean near side. Passanen trying to bully him and get it away. He's out there with Sternberg on the defensive line. Väisänen is just a little bit late to that pass as Fightin' will slap at this puck. He's spun down to the ice as he lost the edge of his skate. Perik will dump it up. Magnuson with a minute left, dump it behind. Stover with the puck, playing the puck with a guy in his face too. He'll get it up to Scardina. Scardina goes off the half wall, drops it down. Grant working all the way in. He was working a forecheck 1-on-3. Now Bemidji will get it all the way in. Sternberg tries to spin out the competition. Whistle blows. Offside, I believe, is the call against Bemidji with 42 seconds left in the second. And a 1-1 Bowling Green Bemidji State tie.
Yeah, I mean, you got 42 seconds left in the second period. Not necessarily a good period, you want to call it, for Bowling Green. So if you just get out of here tied still 1-1, regroup in the locker room and come back out in the third.
Heading into the wheel, Yuri Väisänen and Ben Duran, who again is on that new line as a center with Brett Foe and Jackson Niedermeyer, that line's already scored in this game as Ben Duran wins the faceoff. BG taking it in the zone, hoping for the last possession. Foe takes it near side, trying to work it back out to the point. He does. Shot in is just off the stick of Niedermeyer, back out to Noah Quinn. Noah Quinn with his second point of the season. His assist today on the Kirkland Irie goal. Riley Funk with the puck now, 15 or under 15. Slap shot saved by Stover with men in his face. What a grab by the 6'2 senior.
Yeah, that's just a good save by Stover. I mean, again, kind of a similar situation to the goal, maybe a little less. They probably had to put a little more mustard on the shot there than they did on the first goal, but kind of not in a position. And Cole Moore was able to, or Christian Stover rather, was able to glove save it.
10.7 seconds left to play in the second period, 1-1. Jackson jutting in the first line for Bemidji State. They cross it back on the backhand pass. Low angle shot over in front. Stover tries to shut it off. Can he do it? Yes, he can, as the horn sounds. And we will head into the second intermission with a tie game. The only score, a Kirkland Irie goal for Bemidji State, assisted by Noah Quinn. No scoring for Bowling Green in that period. We have a tie game heading into the third with Bowling Green coming out and trying to win it for the Orange and Brown. We'll take a step back for a few moments and bring you the Marta Crow second intermission report. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU women's basketball travels to Athens to take on the Ohio Bobcats on Wednesday, January 15th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Kaden Nav at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hi, it's Tori DeVito. In every family, small conversations can make a big impact, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic. Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life.
I wanted you to know, from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now, that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
BGSU Women's Track and Field hosts the Falcon Early Bird Open on Friday, January 10th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a post-game recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Dad, guess what?
What?
You are going to be a grandfather.
That's great. Not too long ago, moments like this with my daughter would have been a challenge. It was a long road for me to find myself again after Vietnam. It was my neighbor Jim, another Vietnam veteran, who finally convinced me that I could still connect with my family and find that fulfilling life I'd lost. And I went for help down at the VA. If I can take that first step after almost 50 years, I know other veterans can too. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
On September 13th, BGSU men's soccer's Bennett Painter scored the game-winning goal against Northern Illinois, leading to the team getting nationally ranked. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer had the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
Gonna win that one initially. Head up again.
Wins the second one, however. Back to Lane, back to Painter. That one's blocked, gets it back. Painter! Painter paints another masterclass at Cochran Stadium.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
For far too long, animals on farms and ranches were not afforded protections to ensure their humane treatment and care. Luckily, times have changed, and more farmers are raising their animals in accordance with American Humane science-based standards, which offer ethically driven consumers humanely raised products. The next time you're in the grocery store, be sure to choose foods that are American Humane certified. To learn more, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
Hello, my name is Reiko Badurov. I play for the BGSU men's soccer team, and these are my Falcon 4 breakfast items. Number one, I'd say, is eggs. Just good protein, good way to start off the day. Also really like waffles, just so good. You can put chocolate chips, whipped cream on it, it's amazing. Same thing with French toast, love like the cinnamon taste to it. And then I'd say yogurt too. Yogurt and granola, can't go wrong with that. So those are my 4.
The Marta Crow intermission report. A long-time BGSU hockey fan with her husband Rick Crow, the late Marta Crow, and then also was a listener of WBGU 88.1 FM. Rick loves to tell the story that when she was at games, she would listen to the WBGU broadcast while watching the game in person. Pretty cool dedication for Marta Crow, the late Marta Crow, and Rick has sponsored the second intermission in her name. 1-1 Bowling Green and Bemidji State. The only score in that period coming from Kirkland Irie, his 9th goal of the season, and Noah Quinn's 2nd assist of the season. That came only 45 seconds into that second period, and then we had pretty much nothing going the rest of the time. It was a defensive battle between Bowling Green and Bemidji. The shots on goal are essentially the same, and they've played pretty even. It's really gone to show that both Bemidji State is a better team than their record shows, and Bowling Green's defense is on par with some of the best in the CCHA.
Yeah, I mean that was the Bowling Green defense had their work cut out for them that period. It never seemed like I mentioned it. You asked what we needed to see. I said Bemidji State's goalie's right in front of us on this period. I would love to see some shots on goal. We barely saw any. I mean we got 3 in that period by Bowling Green. They got shut out 8-3 by Bemidji State. All the offensive was on the other side of the ice. So you kind of have to just make sure that your offense is. I mean, your defense is on the. If your defense is on the ice for longer than it needs to be, that's when the problems create.
And something the Falcons have been benefiting from lately that they're not seeing a whole lot in this game. Penalties. We have yet to see a penalty from Bemidji State. They're a highly disciplined team, and they are truly a great defensive team. Being disciplined is one of the aspects of it. They haven't committed a penalty yet today. Bowling Green hasn't gone on the power play, but they've had 2 penalty kills, and they've done pretty well on both of them. They've eliminated Bemidji State's extra man pretty effectively, but again, that's another aspect that the Falcons are not benefiting from. An interesting thing that I am looking to see in this third period, the first 2 lines for Bemidji State, which inhabits Kirkland, Irie, Jackson Judding, and Eric Martin, and then Casper Magnuson, Yuri Vizenen, and Austin Jopi. They have played the majority of the minutes for Bemidji State by far. It's really not even close. Noah Quinn's worked in there a little bit, Riley Funk some, Adam Fleming some, that third line a little bit. But those first two lines have taken a lot of the time away, and they might have tired legs coming into this third period. The Falcons have played pretty consistently 3 of their 4 lines, and even that third line of Grant Fighton and Ozar have played pretty well on the power play. They played both power plays, so I'm just going to be interested to see, Sean, what goes on for the Falcons, if they're going to really try and put the pressure on and make those first 2 lines of Bemidji State really try and skate with them.
Yeah, I thought for sure at the start of the game we would see at least a penalty by Bemidji State as they lead the league in penalty minutes, but they've at least, I mean, you could have called at least 2 of them right there, but, you know, if the refs don't call it, you kind of just have to move on. You can't really complain about it. You kind of just have to, like I said, move on, play the game. But yeah, I mean, I thought for sure we'd see a penalty, but maybe we'll see one in the third. But that's, like I said, you got to capitalize at that point because goals aren't easy in hockey in general, but in this game for sure.
Definitely some things for Bowling Green to clean up. They've only scored once, and it was midway through that first period, 9:38. Ben Duran's goal, assisted by Jackson Niedermeyer, his second assist of the season, and Duran's 6th goal of the season. Their defense was really good in the first period, but it kind of disappeared a little bit in the second. They were struggling to get the puck outside of the zone. Bemidji State putting a lot of pressure on Bowling Green and just being able to keep it in. There were times where it looked like Bemidji was on a power play and they were just toying with the Falcons a little bit. Luckily enough, they didn't get too many high-quality shots, but that's where we stand for that. We will shift over now into our Around the CCHA portion, and you just pointed something out to me, Sean, which could be a really big story if it ends up happening after this game. Why don't you tell me what you just pointed to on your computer?
Yeah, I mean, you got last place Northern Michigan at 1-18, leading Minnesota State, who's currently in the lead of the CCHA, 2-1 at the end of 2 periods. So yeah, like you mentioned, would be a very, very big upset if the lead can continue. And then you also have Lake Superior State, who the Falcons saw last week, and Michigan Tech going at it, and they're tied 2-2 as well at the end of 2. And then you got St. Thomas and Ferris State still going on in the second period, or first period rather, at a 5-2 game right there. So high-scoring game in Matona Heights, Minnesota.
A ton of scoring in that Ferris State-St. Thomas game, which is odd because St. Thomas is definitely a more defensive team, I would say. Ferris State a little bit themselves. Lake Superior and Michigan Tech, all of their goals scored have been in the second period. Chase Pietala and Matthew Campbell back-to-back by Michigan Tech within 4 minutes of each other, and then Brian Huggins and Reagan Milburn for Lake Superior State within 2 minutes of each other. That's the most scoring already the Lake Superiors had in a series this year because Bowling Green kept them to 1 goal earlier. Northern Michigan's Ryan Dugray is probably going to be the first star of that game because he's got both goals, and Aiden Hutchinson and Jacob Altrichter have both assists. So those are the only players that have scored points. Minnesota State's Will Hillman scored the only goal for them in the second period. Jacob Sender and Brendan Olson, the assisters on that one. So again, Bowling Green Bemidji tied 1-1. Northern over Minnesota State 2-1 at the end of 2. Lake Superior State Michigan Tech 2-2 at the end of 2, and St. Thomas 5-2 over Ferris State. 4 minutes left to play in the first period. High-scoring affair up in Mendota Heights, Minnesota. We'll take a step back for a few moments. You're listening to the Marta Crow second intermission report on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
BGSU Gymnastics heads to Ypsilanti for their first road meet against the Eastern Michigan Eagles on Sunday, January 12th at 1 p.m. Catch the recap of the event on bgfalconmedia.com. Are you a fan of the Zig Zone, Falcon Media Sports Network's weekly radio show? While there will be no more airings during winter break, the show will return on January 12th on WBGU 88.1 FM. Also make sure to check bgfalconmedia.com for all BGSU athletics news and updates. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media's live sports talk show, The Swoop? While there will be no more productions over winter break, episodes will air again every Tuesday beginning on January 28th only on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. At Children International, we know that the journey to end poverty for good begins first with a child. It starts with their first checkup, lesson, opportunity, job. That journey takes commitment from people like you and me to end poverty for good. Learn more at children.org.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
BGSU men's basketball heads to Muncie to take on the Ball State Cardinals on Saturday, January 11th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Back in the Slater Family Ice Arena, Bowling Green and Bemidji State tied 1-1 as the Falcons trying to hold on to their tied for third place in the CCHA standings. We'll see how it goes considering Michigan Tech is tied with Lake Superior State 2-2 right now. St. Thomas and Ferris State finally finished their end of the first period, and within the last 2 minutes, Travis Chowdy scored for Ferris State to make their score 3, and Cage Sturzer scored for St. Thomas to make their score 6. So they have 9 total goals scored in 1 period. We are at 2 total goals scored through 2 periods. I don't know what they're doing over there in Mendota Heights, Minnesota, but we're at a pretty defensive matchup, Sean Connolly.
Yeah, like you said, a pitcher's duel or maybe a slugfest in football where, you know, maybe the next goal is going to win the game.
It's coming down to how the defensemen play. BG's defense took a step back in the second period, although it was fantastic in the first. And they've just got to put the pressure on, I think, this top line of Bemidji State that has played the vast majority of this game. Irie, Judding, Martin, and the second line of Magnuson, Visenen, and Jopi. We're going to have tired legs. As here's a breakaway now for Niedermeyer, who sends this one high and into the right corner of the goal, just wide of it. Now another breakaway. Trying to cross it is Martin. Martin's forced into the boards. Norris gives chase now. Irie dumps it back to Judding. Now Martin will scamper back in. He'll be taken by Wolf. Wolf looks in for a shot off the stick, up into the netting as Pastanen pushes his guy down. That was Eric Martin, who was getting bullied by Pastanen in front. And he's a little shaken up on that play, but he's skating off. Good to see Sternberg taking consistent shifts now.
Already, though, it wasn't a shot on goal. I don't think they'll count it, but already an offensive shot. Already an improvement, I think, that the BG offense needed.
13 shots on goal for Bemidji, 8 for Bowling Green. A lot of those shots on goal coming in the second half of the second period, even though they scored early in the first, 45 seconds in. Sternberg puts a hit on. Wozni gets it away. O'Hara giving chase. Puts a hit on himself. Trying to clear it outside the zone is the orange and brown. They'll go off the stick, up into the zone. Waters chasing it all the way back in. And he's just a little bit too slow for Tony Fulmer. Into the corner. O'Hara trying to poke it away. He can do it to Issa Perrick. Perrick will pass across to Visenen. Visenen with open ice, looking for a shot now. Stover, directional save away from the play. Good save by the senior, who's played absolutely fantastic this season. Only 6 games played, but he's 5-0-1. And a 43 save game in his first. And we get a whistle and a stoppage. I don't know what the call is here, possibly an offsides. Oh no, we're going to get a too many men. I think we're going to get a too many men on the ice call against BG. Max Martin will serve this one out. And that's a tough one to take. Only, a minute and a half into the third period. In a 1-1 game, you're given another power play opportunity to Bemidji.
You're just kind of shooting yourselves in the foot, and that's essentially, that is one that really, I mean, you practice that almost every day. Just line shifts, all that, and I get you kind of get mixed up there, but.
Face-off won by Bemidji State. Shot and a score right off the bat. That's Casper Magnuson. That scored that one within the first 5 seconds of the too many men on the ice penalty, and really was not happy about that one. And it gave Bemidji State a 2-1 lead. Granted, there is a ton of time left. Can't help but think if you didn't have that extra man on the ice that it wouldn't be a ice tilter toward Bemidji now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the benefit of that is you allowed a goal less than 2 minutes in, so you have a lot of time to respond back. But again, that's just a penalty that, obviously, a tripping and a roughing, those are sometimes just off the fly. Sometimes stuff like that happens. But a too many men on the ice off a shift is kind of unacceptable.
Irian Flaming, the assist on the goal by Riley Funk. It was not Magnuson. It was the centerman Riley Funk. That's his 6th goal of the season and his 11th point. BG will chase the puck back down into their own zone. Sternberg off the half wall, back outside the blue line. Wolf with the puck, trying to dump it back in. Sternberg will hold on to it, leave it back for Wozni. Wozni will go off the wall into Fighton. Fighton crossing over into the center and is kicked away by the defenseman of Bemidji State. Fighton put a hit on, in front, shot over, in, score! Chipped up in the air, batted down. Was that Owen Ozar?
I believe it was.
Yes,
Owen
it was.
Ozar.
First goal and point of the season. Coming on the line with Grant and Fighton.
8th game played for Ozar, and like you mentioned, first goal, first point of the season. And I don't know if Kyle Halleck will come calling, but that was great hand-eye coordination. Puck was tipped up.
That was a bunt.
That was, a
Perfect.
bunt. Laid the suicide squeeze.
Right out of the air. I am surprised that they're not going to try and review this to see if he was standing in the blue paint, but I guess they are seeing the replay and they're not going to do anything. We are standing around here for a second as the referees are talking to Willie. Owen Ozar, even strength, unassisted goal, as they said, that it was chipped into the air, I believe off the stick of Scholl, if I'm not mistaken, and then held above his head for a little bit too long, and he got the stick on it.
2 goals in 40 minutes, and now 2 goals in about 2 minutes in the third period for a 2-2 game now.
Time of the goal, 2:08. Time of the Funk goal, 1:35. So, yeah, within a little bit there. We had 2 scores, and the Falcons tie it back up. Capitalizing on opportunities is something BG hasn't been great at all season, but they've done it pretty well in this game and the few opportunities that they've had. Almost half of the amount of shots on goal is Bemidji State, but tied with them. Sadosari dumps it back into the zone as Norris will hold on. Into Passanen. Passanen up to Emanen. Emanen can't get his stick on it. It's a little bit high for him, waist high, and it'll be an icing against the Falcons, but they got a fresh line out there, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, it was said that, you gave up the goal a little less than 2 minutes in, and now you respond right back, and now you have a chance to gain a lead and hopefully hold on to it. You responded back in a matter of seconds, it seemed like.
Waters looking for the puck now. Emanen keeps it inside the blue line. Now Bemidji State takes it away. Good move there. Taking it all the way down and in is Flamang. Over in front, kicked away by the Falcons off the glass. Now into the middle. Shot wide, kicked again by Stover to get it away. Waters will clear it outside the zone as Karodiak will jump on for him. Falcons will go for a change after the icing call, and they get it away. Dangerous play there over in front as it was on the doorstep a little bit long. Sadasari with the puck into Quinn. Quinn on the near side is pressed up by Stjernberg for the Falcons. Riley Funk, who had the lead-taking goal a second ago. That was negated by the Falcons' goal in Owen Ozar. Fun fact, national champion, 21-22 with Denver. Owen Ozar was on the team, played for the Falcons the last 2 years.
Those Denver teams were really fun to watch as just a hockey fan in general. A lot of NHL talent on those teams.
His shot is saved by Scholl, knocked to the near side corner. First one in is a Falcon, but he doesn't have a lot of room to work with. He's pressed up. Karodiak into Ozar. Ozar with a breakaway, working in, trying to pass it. He's had some productive shifts in the last couple minutes, especially in this third period. Scardina's getting pressed up, getting bullied, frankly, behind the goal. Now we'll get it and try to get it back out to the blue line. Parker will play the inside as the puck is cleared to Niedermeyer. Back to Parker. Parker into the O-zone, trying to pass it into Wozni, and it's blocked by Beaver defenseman. Working all the way in, Duran with his stick in the lane, and it's kicked out and away. Irie taking it all the way in. Number 20 is mugged by Wozni, presses him up against the boards. Martin with the puck, back to Irie. Irie with the shot is blocked by Duran, who laid out on one knee for that one. Shot all the way back around along the shelf of the boards. Jutting back around to the point. Issa Peric. Deflection in front on his shot, but it'll be gloved and saved by Christian Stover, who is up to 15 saves so far in this game. 2-2 tie, 14:50 left to play in the third period. Bowling Green and Bemidji, 2 goals coming in this third after 1 goal in the first and 1 goal in the second. Owen Ozar with the last goal, and then Riley Funk with the second to last, and the lead taker for Bemidji. Shot over and again covered up by Stover as he was pressured in front by Riley Funk again. Getting deep into the game now. We're seeing the second line for Bemidji get a little bit more time. Väisänen, Magnuson, and Jupi. Sig deep by O'Hara. He'll take it up the near side. Emerson wears a hit. It's all the way across. Scholl plays the puck. Tries to ice it back around to a green jersey. He'll get it to Magnuson. Magnuson's getting bullied by a Falcon. Tony Fulmer watches it go wide. Turnover in the zone. O'Hara tries to turn it back around and hold on possession with the white jerseys. In front, Emerson puts a hit on, but can't force a turnover as Magnuson tries to glove it. He'll just go for a change and let Norris have it. And McKinley will set it up in the D zone of the Falcons. Waits for his guys, now making a rush now off the half wall. Grant with the angle all the way in. He wears a big hit, tumbling down, legs in the air. Ozar tries to get it across the blue line, but it's forced wide of it. Norris with the puck. Off of the wall, deflected in. Fighting pressed up in the far side boards. BG playing with the puck a little bit more in their O zone. They were playing only in the D zone for a long time there. Ozar to Stjernberg near side. Stjernberg up to the blue line where Fighton stood. It's back to Sternberg in the middle at the blue line. The Falcons will go for a couple of guy change, as Duran will be on a light forecheck now. It's taken out the right side of the goal. It'll be Fulmer that takes it all the way up. Long pass into the corner, handled by the Falcons. Niedermeyer leaves it back. Sternberg a little bit late to the party. Flameng in front, and a chance for what looked to be Jake McLean. And now a breakaway here. Scardina, shot, saved by Scholl just off of his shoulder on a breakaway by Scardina. Ben Duran lost control of the puck. Parker pushes it back into the zone, but can't control it, and it'll turn back over to the Beavers. Wolf in. Hit tries to go on. Whistle blows. I think it's going to be offsides against the Beavers, and it'll come back out to neutral ice. We're seeing a little bit more offense here. More shots on goal being accumulated. 17-11. Bemidji still leads this 2-2 game. A little bit slower paced, I will say.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it took 40 minutes for 2 goals, and then it took about a minute and a half for the next 2. So a little faster pace in the third period, but definitely a slow-paced game overall.
Looks to be cleaner played by the Falcons, offensively and defensively. Bemidji's fallen into a little bit slump in the last couple of minutes. Falcons fighting for it on the near side boards of their O-zone. Now it's chipped away. Giving chase is Eric Martin. Martin at the near side, puts on the brakes, turns it back around, looking to the blue line. He'll turn it over to Ryan O'Hara. O'Hara's pass is errant. Martin will hold on and dump it back on a forecheck by Jaden Grant. Pass in. Jackson Judding over the middle. Shot in, saved by Stover as he exited the blue paint to make the save on that one. Grant. And he's being fought with and pressed up into the bench. In front of the bench, the whistle blows and play is stopped as Irie got tangled up with Jaden Grant in front of Emerson, Foe, and Martin, who sat on the pine.
Right in the heart of the bench, too, of Bowling Green. And obviously the refs had to put a stop to it.
Saw Willie had a right hand on the jersey of Emerson, who leaned a little bit too much far forward into that play, trying to stay out of the box. The Falcons have had 3 penalties to Bemidji's 0. Haven't even had a power play chance. Impressive by the Beavers and how disciplined they are. Fighting off his stick, avoiding the icing. Taking hold to Setasari. Up to Passanen. Passanen shot in, kicked away by Scholl. It'll go into the netting, and it'll drop in play, but be waved off. 2-2, 11:34 left to play in the third.
Yeah, and I mean, that was their third penalty by Bowling Green that Bemidji State finally capitalized on. And eventually, if you start giving up those penalties, eventually they're going to score on power plays. They kind of use their get-out-of-jail-free cards right there at the beginning of the game, starting out 2 for 2 on the penalty kill, and then obviously you can't go 100% every time.
Emerson's tangled up after the draw, won by BG. They're winning 26-24 in faceoffs. Pretty tight still, although Bemidji is not the best faceoff team in the CCHA. Bowling Green is above 5-10 faceoff percentage before this game. We'll see how that has changed after this game is over. Little update, Lake Superior State takes the lead. Sasha Telegwin with the third period goal. They lead 3-2 over Michigan Tech right now, who owns the tie with BG for 4th place. Although Lake Superior State winning means that they take 3 points as well. So it's a pick your poison kind of thing with that game. Northern Michigan still leads Minnesota State 2-1 with 11:50 left to play in the third period. St. Thomas and Ferris State are getting ready to start their second period with an 8:07 start in Mendota Heights, Minnesota. Sternberg with the puck in the center. Waters out to Duran. Duran with open ice. He's forced away, trying to pass it over into the middle, and Magnuson will take it away. Whistle blows. Are we going to get the first penalty to Beaver? And I believe we are. Unless, actually, no, it's going to be on Ryan O'Hara. It looked like he was on the receiving end of a hit.
It's the 4th now penalty, like
That's
I said.
Interference.
Eventually, sometimes the penalty kill has to give up. And we already saw one 5 seconds in on their last penalty. They were able to capitalize. So back onto the penalty kill for Bowling Green. It seems like that it's a common spot for them this whole game. Like I said, 4 penalties in one game to 0. Something that I don't think Dennis Williams will be too pleased about.
Perrick, the only defenseman on the ice for Bemidji State, the highest scoring defenseman, 9 points, 3 goals, 6 assists. He has the puck now on the near side, trying to pass it over into the middle. It'll be knocked away from Fleming and knocked down the ice. I have a hard time believing that there was 4 penalties BG committed today and 0 the Bemidji.
Yeah, I mean, like
now,
you mentioned,
granted,
O'Hara, I thought you said he was, or it seemed like it looked like it was on the receiving end.
He was called for interference. That's where he'll serve to. Fighton knocks this one down. The penalty kill for BG has been pretty good in this game. Bemidji is 0 for 3 on their power plays. This will be their 4th. Penalties to Sternberg, Passanen, Max Martin for the too many men on the ice, and now Ryan O'Hara. Chip down the ice again. Physical defense from Bowling Green on the power play. Scardina slapping at the puck.
In the middle of the ice there.
Somebody lost it, but I think it was a Falcon player that just went to the bench to get another one. This one goes into the netting and outside of the rink somehow. We'll get a whistle and a stoppage with a minute left in the power play and 9:47 left to play in the third. And I think we're going to wait till the power play is over before we have our immediate timeout after 10 minutes.
And you said it's kind of surprising that Bemidji State, or it's at least 4-0 in the penalty game, and especially in that second period, I think there were 2 penalties that the refs missed in a span of about 2 minutes.
It is slightly closer than that because the Falcons took a too many men on the ice penalty, which isn't attributed to how Bemidji's playing. They pass over into the middle, near side, Martin back out to the point. Wolf back to Väisänen to Martin, and it's knocked outside the zone as Niedermeyer slapped across the hands of Martin. That might have been able to be a penalty, but not too much off of that one.
Yeah, Eric Martin kind of shaking his hand like he got slashed, but again, no call.
Väisänen to Wolf. Now they're switching sides. Wolf to the near side, Martin. Martin looking in at the wheel, over backhand pass, and it won't be able to land to another green jersey. Wolf across to Väisänen again. Väisänen working in at the far wheel, over into the middle and the right wheel, and it's taken back out to the point. 5 seconds left on the power play before they get out. Over into the center, and is kicked away from Stover. Even strength now as O'Hara is back on the ice. Centering pass again, and is taken away by Funk, who didn't get a good clean hold of it. He's knocked down by Passanen. What a hit by Tommy Passanen to turn it over. O'Hara with the puck, turning it back around, looking for a pass. And he can't get it away to a white jersey. But that's 4 for 4 on the penalty kill today for Bowling Green. They're going to be above 800 when all is said and done today. 8:22 left to play, 2-2 the score. Sternberg standing at the blue line, guarding the puck from leaving. He'll grab it across to Norris. Norris back to Sternberg. Sternberg shot in, over in front, turning it back around, saved again by Scholl. Now Sternberg with another shot. It goes off the stick and into the netting. Now we'll get a whistle, and now we'll take a break from the action. 2-2, 8 minutes left to play in the third period. Winner takes 3 points, or we'll go to overtime. You're listening to BG Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
It's hard to keep track of all the health information that comes your way, but you still want to make the right decisions. Here's an easy one. Get tested for hepatitis C. It's a leading cause of liver cancer and often has no symptoms. People born from 1945 to 1965 are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. The good news is that now it can be cured. Talk with your doctor about getting a blood test for hepatitis C. Know for sure. A message from the CDC.
2-2, Bemidji and Bowling Green. BG with some offensive prowess of the last couple minutes. Stover has still been pretty darn good in this game. The defense is flexing from the Falcons as they've got a little bit of momentum going their way. But you know who else has some momentum going their way? Northern Michigan, who leads Minnesota State, the #1 team in the CCHA, playing the number 9 team in the CCHA. They lead 3-1. Ryan DeGuay has a hat trick in this game, 2 power play goals. 2 of them being assisted by Jacob Altricher and Aiden Hutchinson, and the other one and the 2-goal leader right now, Matthew Argentina and Tynan Ewert. Definitely something to keep your eye on if they can kind of dethrone Minnesota State. Now, granted, they have a huge lead, but that's 2 points that Northern Michigan's already taken against the Mavericks this season, and they can take 3 right here if they finish the last 9 minutes strong. The BG's got to get a goal and finish the last 8 minutes strong, 8:04 to be exact. Slap shot from the point, Sternberg! Blue line shot from the Goose! What a goal!
That'll be Sternberg's 6th point of the year, 2nd goal on the year as well. And I mentioned it earlier when he got that penalty. Clearly that upper body does not bother him, and clearly it didn't matter there as he buries the goal, as you literally called it. They need a goal, and they just got one with 8 minutes to go.
12:01, time of the goal. Jaden Grant, the assist.
Putting Bowling Green up 3-2. Couldn't come at a better time.
Directly off the draw, right to Sternberg. What a wicked slap shot. Actually, they've been shooting high all game, and Sternberg beat him on the ice that time. Scored it right to the left. The student section a little bit energized with the Falcons' 3-1 lead under 8 minutes left to play in the third.
We mentioned pregame. Get to the magic number 3, and you're in good position to beat Bemidji.
They've lost only 1 game this season when Matthias Scholl has given up 2 or less goals, but they've lost every other game, lost or tied every other game that they've given up more than 2 goals. They've given up more than 2 in this game. We'll see if BG can hold on to their lead with 7:20 left to play in the third. Whistle and an offsides against the Falcons.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, off the point, off the draw as well. Those are always some of the most satisfying goals to see. Just right off a rip, slap shot, and gets buried. Like I said, it's a very satisfying goal to watch.
Welcome back, Gustav Sternberg. Didn't play in the Lake Superior State series, didn't play against Michigan Tech or St. Thomas either. As Riley Funk takes this one all the way in. 6'4" as a forward. Shot across the blue paint is let go by Stover. Will not be a shot on goal. Funk back across O'Hara. Flamang is kept away by Emanen. Dump back in. Off of the chest of Wozni and drop down in front. Willie wants too many men on the ice. I counted 6, but there's no penalty against, and Willie is livid on this one, and he's talking to the official, Derek Berkebiel. Nicholas Bett, the other one, Patrick Giles, and Nick Huff, the linesman. So as some not terrific calls in this game, although they've been decently fair majority of the time. The Falcons have committed more penalties than Bemidji. I just don't think Bemidji's committed 0, as we're more than midway through this third. Taken away by McKinley. Pass to Ozar. Ozar's got a ton of shifts in this third period, and he's earned it. He's got a goal, and he's played very aggressively, very offensively, which is rare for Ozar. Pass to the near sides, taken away by Sternberg. Sternberg up to Ozar. Ozar pressuring on the forecheck. Is turned over and again cleared out of play wide of the netting. I think that one went down the tunnel.
I was just about to say, I think that one went down the tunnel. Usually not a hazard area, but if you're walking with a pretzel or a hot dog, watch out.
We've seen more pucks go out of play in this game than I think we have all season. Man, that would really stink if you got a hot dog Nice little drink as well, and you get it knocked to the puck. That's not a great hockey game occurrence right there, is it? Pass up into central ice. McKinley can't get it outside of the zone. Taking it all the way in. Pass across the nose of Stover again. Another shot is kicked away by the chest. Bemidji really likes to play behind the goaltender. They're doing it again right now. Stover's probably got whiplash or something with his neck from looking at the side. Slap shot. Wicked by the point. Right there to try and redirect it was Jackson Panzer, as we're seeing the fourth line on the ice now for Bemidji. Kick save again by Stover. I'm sorry, that was with the mitt and a breakaway now. Ethan Scardina takes it all the way into the zone, but the Falcons, instead of going for an offensive chance, never mind. Ben Duran with a shot, and it goes high, trying to go top shelf again. They were going for a change, but Duran got on and off quickly. Back out to the point. Passanen shot in, deflected away in front by what looked to be Satisari. And it'll be pancaked up the ice again to Passanen. Passanen, aggressive pass into Emanen. Emanen goes off the half wall, trying to get it back to his guys. Taking it all the way into the middle, and is knocked away. Press up against the near side corner of the Falcon D zone. Wolf across the blue line, shot in, again blocked by Ben Duran, who's got a goal in this game as well, his 6th of the season. Wolf, another shot in front, covered up by Stover, who in the act pushed away A.J. McCauley. Stover's been fantastic in this game, hasn't taken a step back from where he's been the last 6. 21 saves now, 2 goals allowed, a .913 save percentage. Funk for the draw with Grant. Grant standing at 6'2", a big forward in his own right, but Riley Funk's 6'4". Comparable in play as well to Ville Emanen. The Falcons quite large center, 6'3", 205. Parker pushing with Funk, as well as Jaden Grant, who's in there trying to get the puck free. Volmer dumps it back into the zone, and it'll be handled by Noah Quinn. Quinn's got a goal in this game, or an assist in this game on the goal by Kirkland Irie. He's got a 2-point game today as well, trying to add another one. The pass is long of the blue line and cleared out. 4 minutes left to play in the third. 3-2. BG leads, trying to hold on to this one. Emerson dropping all the way in. He's knocked down to the ice. Bemidji State breakaway pass is just long, as the first one there will be Eric Martin, but he had a massive lead ahead of any BG defender if that pass landed. Ozar taking it all the way in. Work pass. Shot. Save by Scholl. I mean, what a game Owen Ozar is having. I mean, those first 2 periods, he was there doing his thing. This third period, he's really taken a huge step forward.
Finally getting something to fall to. First goal, first point, he's able to contribute. And like you said, he's kind of just always been there, but none of them have been able to fall. Finally one does in a dramatic fashion as well. A little bunt into the net.
Clean play and defense is going to be the story of Bowling Green, hopefully for the next 3.5 minutes. And Bemidji's got to start worrying about when they're going to pull the goalie as well. Irie takes it up through center into Martin. Martin avoids a hit, but doesn't get the puck either. Ozar on a breakaway, taking it up the right side, going for a shot, and it's barely saved by Scholl. He caught just a stitch of his padding on that one, just enough to knock it away from the iron. Irie takes it away now, looking for a pass to the near side. Jutting, high stick, knocks it down, no call.
Looked like a clear high stick
Bemidji,
to me.
though. That was almost at the head of Passanen. That should have been a tripping as well, as Passanen hit the ice. Willie is livid. I cannot believe that they have not yet called a penalty. There is 2 stoppages of play in the last minute, at least.
That's 4 penalties I think they've missed on the Bemidji side.
Magnuson, no whistle in that one, as that probably should have been boarding against Bowling Green, but maybe that's a makeup call. Fighting up to Grant. Grant into Waters. Waters takes it up the near side, dumps it in, and now we'll go for a change. I cannot believe. Did they forget their whistles at home?
Clearly not for Bowling Green.
4 penalties for BG, none for Bemidji. Looking in is Scholl as he's trying to see if he can leave. Sternberg looked like he was tripped up. Visenen turns it back around, looking out to the blue line. He's still got the puck across the blue line, taking the shot in, deflection in front, but it's knocked away. Noah Quinn playing in front of the blue paint, fighting for it near side. 6 skaters for Bemidji. 2 minutes left to play in the third period. BG's got to get it out. They do. Niedermeyer shot up, stick saved down, and kept it in the O zone. Visenen takes it back out to the blue line. Saudaseri across all the way to the far side. Gloved, dropped. Duran with the puck, backhand, trying to get it out. Is still not held on to by anybody. Now it finally will by Bemidji. Visenen, gloves drops. Didn't advance the puck. Perfect. Trying a centering pass. Niedermeyer is there. Pass across the blue line. Saudaseri near side. Deflection by Sternberg to knock it away from the net. Visenen back out to the blue line. Martin, $1:20 left to play in the game. Saudaseri with a BG 3-2 lead. Working in, shot up into the netting, and a push down by Sternberg in front to capitalize the end of that play. Noah Quinn has been camped out in front of the blue paint. He's got a couple of redirection chances. But with 1:13 and 6 skaters for Bemidji, they're going to call a timeout. And we'll take a break with them. 1:13 left to play in the third, 3-2. Bowling Green on top of Bemidji. Can they hold on? You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
I'm Levi Gazaric, a senior tight end, and my Falcon 4 camp essentials are electrolytes, a gallon of water, sunflower seeds, and Nerds gummy clusters. Go Falcons.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest, cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Timeout taken by Bemidji State to talk things over. They have 6 skaters on the ice right now. The Falcons have 5. Bemidji needs a game-tying goal in the next 1:13 to try and take a point in the CCHA that they desperately need, frankly, and BG is looking to keep their win streak alive. Jaden Grant in the face-off wheel, wins the face-off. That's a big one to take. Wozni tries to ice it all the way down, but it's kept in by Visenen. Visenen was playing the left wing. Now he's playing the right wing for Bemidji. Back behind, Wozni with the puck is taken away. Back out to Martin. Eric Martin at the blue line. Pass all the way across to the far side and the right wing wheel of Bemidji. Working in, Visenen over, in front, out in the blue paint, and a score for Bemidji State. Adam Fleming, the junior, with his second point of the game, comes as his second goal of the season, and he ties it up with a 6-skater advantage over Bowling Green. That timeout proved beneficial for Bemidji, as with 47 seconds left in the third. The game is tied 3-3. (19:16) the time of the goal. And 4 goals scored in the third period. Both teams understanding that offense was needed. Maybe a little bit more, and they probably should have distributed it better throughout the entire game. But still quite a defensive game, although 6 goals have been scored. 20 seconds left. Niedermeyer to Scardina. Scardina out into central, jutting to McKinley. McKinley's got a lot of white in front of him. He'll take it up the far side of the ice. Dumps it in. A hit is put on by Fulmer. And Fulmer with the puck now, miscommunicates, leaves it back to Duran. Duran presses it up against the boards, and nothing's going to happen here as they're content to go and take a point in the CCHA. So the clean winning streak for BG is over. 2 Northern Michigan games, RIT, and 2 Lake Superior State games. They are guaranteed a point, but we're going to head to 3-on-3, 5-minute overtime in a few moments. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hey, it's Reese Patricus, and you're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Wearing a safety belt is the easiest thing you can do to protect yourself, your family, and your friends. That is why the Ohio State Highway Patrol encourages all motorists to buckle up. This is Trooper Will Richardson of the Ohio State Highway Patrol's Bowling Green Post. Since 2017, 60% of people killed on Ohio roadways were not wearing a safety belt. It's simple. Safety belts save lives and reduce injuries and crashes. Remember, buckle up every trip, every time.
3-on-3, 5-minute overtime. The Beavers are on the ice. The Falcons have yet to, as there's still some time. So they're playing the waiting game and seeing who they're going to put out and seeing who the Falcons are going to put out in a defensive end. Ben Korak here with Sean Connolly from the Falcon Media Sports Network. In overtime, the Falcons guaranteed at least a point. The last time they did not win outright was December 7th of 2024. And in overtime, 3-2 loss to Minnesota State in Mankato, Minnesota. They beat Northern Michigan twice in regulation, RIT and Lake Superior twice in regulation. It's their first non-straight-up win since December 7th. Great run, and they're still at a point streak since December 6th, in which they lost outright to Minnesota State. So they're taking a point every game since. And now on the ice, Jaden Grant, Ryan O'Hara, and Ben Wozni, with Jackson Judding, Eric Martin, and Mitch Wolf. Pretty even offensive talent on both sides, I would say. Grant presses up, turns the puck over to Wozni. Wozni looking for a pass. He's got a lot of ice to deal with. The forecheck turns the puck over and then turned right back to the Falcons. Taking it up center is O'Hara, who turns it back around. 5-minute overtime, 4:45 left to play. Only a couple seconds expired. Wozni looking for a pass on the near side. He'll get it back all the way to O'Hara. Grant goes for a pick. They'll take it outside the blue line and waste some time as Grant goes off for Scardina. O'Hara leaves it back for Wozni again. Wozni in his own zone. Not a lot of pressure. Gets it up to O'Hara. O'Hara breakaway, working in. Backhand chance, and he goes just high of the red crossbar. Eric Parker on the ice now for the Falcons. A decent passer. Good solid offensive defenseman. Taking it in is Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer working all the way in, crossing pass, and he basically just turns it over to Väisänen. Väisänen taking it up the near side now with a 2-on-3, taking it over toward the middle. We'll take it back outside the blue line as Perrick and Jopi will have to turn it all the way back around. Now taking it up to far side. Shot in. Kirkland Irie saved by Stover, and they'll cover it up and opt for a face-off to his right and let his guys get a change. That's Eamon and Norris checking on for Scardina and Parker. Bender-Rand's out there as well.
I mean, Bowling Green had pretty much the puck for about a minute there until they turned it over. And that's, I guess, I wouldn't say a problem of 3-on-3, but it can get in a stretch of Bowling Green could have had the puck for 2.5 minutes and no one would have batted an eye. That's just kind of what comes with 3-on-3.
Last overtime BG had, they lost to Minnesota State 3-2. Before that, they had 2 shootouts in back-to-back series against Michigan Tech and St. Thomas. Here's a turnover now. Eamon, far side, looking for a pass. He'll go back out to the point, working in. Bender-Rand's shot goes over the goal. And Flameng will take it back, settle it down without a forecheck from Eamon. Now Eamon will check off for Grant. Grant and Eamon will probably just alternate here as centerman, as Duran is kind of playing a winger. Leaves it over in the middle. Väisänen's shot is blocked by Stjernberg. Now a breakaway. BG working all the way in. Bender-Rand is interfered away from the puck as he's pushed away. A couple of BG fans
right there
could have called a penalty there. Probably should have, but nothing there. Now Sternberg taking it all the way in. His shot is kicked away. He's got an overtime winner in the RIT game earlier in Rochester, New York. Staying on sides is Wozni. Looking for a pass in, over, O'Hara shoots and scores! Ryan O'Hara puts it away! Fourth goal of the season for Ryan O'Hara!
Just great puck movement, especially in that overtime. They had some opportunities, couldn't get him to bury, and that one right there, O'Hara had the entire left side of the net wide open, and he went top cheddar with it.
Worked it over near side, beat Scholl right to left, and the Falcon passing has spelled disaster for Matthias Scholl in this game. Look at that, outside of the blue paint, has to range all the way over to the other side. Beautiful movement from BG on the 3-3, and now they're going to review it and see if it was offside. So we might have done all that celebrating for nothing, as the equipment manager had the sticks over his shoulder, taking it all the way off. He might have to put him back. 2:23 left to play in the overtime.
Just the snipe overall, I know they're reviewing it right now, but whether the goal stands or not, just a heck of a shot by O'Hara. Especially, like I said, I mean, once it gets to overtime, nerves are kind of up in the air. 3-3 game.
I'm hoping they show the replay here to see. There was a play earlier where Wozni was pretty close, but it looked like he got his blade over the blue line before the puck crossed fully. They're coming back out now with the call. Derek Berkerbill and Nicholas Bett. Call is confirmed, and a good goal for Ryan O'Hara as he walks it off for the Falcons. A W in the win column for the Falcons every single game since December 13th. That's 7 in a row for Bowling Green as they take 2 points in the CCHA. You just keep taking points, and you'll just keep rising in the standings. They will advance, I'm sure, because Michigan Tech is not poised to win their game against Lake Superior State, but we'll unpack that in a few moments. You listen to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The Ohio State Highway Patrol is looking for motivated, service-minded individuals for the position of state trooper. The choice to become a trooper is a choice that positively affects the lives of countless people on a daily basis. Our minimum requirements are as follows. You must be 20 to 34 years of age, possess a high school diploma or GED, be a United States citizen, and have a valid driver's license. We will also pay you during your training. For information, visit our website at statepatrol.ohio.gov. It's simple. It's your tomorrow, and it starts here.
BGSU men's basketball heads to Muncie to take on the Ball State Cardinals on Saturday, January 11th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU women's basketball travels to Athens to take on the Ohio Bobcats on Wednesday, January 15th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Kaden Knapp at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. At Children International, we know that the journey to end poverty for good begins first with a child. It starts with their first checkup, lesson, opportunity, job. That journey takes commitment from people like you and me to end poverty for good. Learn more at children.org.
Electric finish, especially in the third period, to what was, frankly, until that point, a little bit of a boring game. Definitely a defensive matchup. Bowling Green wins in overtime over Bemidji State 4-3. The overtime winner by Ryan O'Hara, his 4th goal of the season in 3 straight series. Well, the RIT game last series he had 2 against Lake Superior State, and now he has 1 already against Bemidji. His hot streak continues. Jaden Grant also had 2 points in this game, but that third period, Sean, was really electric. It was very exciting, and we saw a little bit more offense from the Falcons and some pretty good fight there as well.
Yeah, in the first 3 minutes, you saw 2 goals combined. So, and there was only 2 goals in the whole game already. So we kind of saw some fireworks there in the third period, which was kind of much needed, especially as you mentioned multiple times. It was kind of a pitcher's duel, defensive battle. And yeah, so to have that game go into overtime and have a couple more goals scored is exactly what we needed.
4 goals in the third period, 1 in the overtime as the winner. Ben Duran scored at 9:38 into the first, assisted by Jackson Niedermeyer. Then Bemidji responded with their own goal by Kirkland Irie, assisted by Noah Quinn. Riley Funk and took the lead $1:35 into the third. Owen Ozar just a few seconds later scored his goal that he batted out of the air off of the stick of Matthias Scholl. Gustav Stjernberg with a slap shot from the point gave the Falcons a lead. Flameng got a goal in the third with the 6 skaters on the ice advantage, assisted by Riley Funk and Yuri Vizenen. And then, of course, O'Hara's overtime winner, assisted by Jaden Grant, who had 2 points in this game. Sean, the Falcons didn't have a great, highly offensive game, but even taking into account the shifts that they had as well, who do you think is going to be the Falcon Media Sports Network player of the game?
I mean, you got to give it to Ryan O'Hara, bearing the final goal there to secure the W. So you can give it to a couple people. I think Ben Duran also had a really, really strong game, scoring that first goal, and then obviously having a few other plays that really dictated how the game went. But you got to give it to Ryan O'Hara, game-winning goal. So I also, not to toot my own horn, but picked the stick, finally got one.
He did. Sean Connolly has won his Actually, your first pick the stick of the season.
I'm 1 for 1.
You've won it. You're 1 for 1. Ryan O'Hara with the goal. I also want you to know that some combination of Lucas, Tyler, and I have chose Ryan O'Hara almost every single game until the point that he scored in RIT, and now your first time choosing him, you get to convert on it. Yeah. I don't think any of us did when he scored his first goal.
1 for 1 on 4th down, and hopefully let's go for 2 for 2 tomorrow, since I'll be on the call as well.
There you go. Lucas chose Christian Stover, who gave up 3 goals in this game, so he finished with 0. Tyler chose Brett Foe, who did not score a point, and I chose Ville Imanen, who also did not score a point in this game. Ryan O'Hara had 1, and that means Sean Connolly is the pick the stick winner today. As far as goals go, Stjernberg, O'Hara, Ozar, and Duran scored them. Jaden Grant with 2 assists, 1 assist from Jackson Niedermeyer as well. The unassisted goal from Owen Ozar it was quite complimentary to the other goals that only had 1 assist or no assists as well. Ben Duran led in total shots with 7. Ryan O'Hara led in shots on goal, as he normally does, with 4. BG and Bemidji played pretty even in the face-off circles as well, 32-32. A lot of those being clutch wins at the end by Bowling Green, and especially the one in their own zone next to Stover that ended up converting into the Ryan O'Hara goal. And then Matthias Scholl, 16 saves, 4 goals allowed for an 800 save percentage. Not the greatest performance today against the Falcons, but Christian Stover had a pretty good one. His worst of the season so far, but he gets an overtime win as well. So he's 5-0-2 now with his 24 save, 3 goal allowed performance, just below a 900 save percentage. So Sean and I will be back here tomorrow for the Bowling Green versus Bemidji State final game of the series. They do play later in the year in Bemidji, Minnesota, but the final of the home stand for Bowling Green. We also have a men's basketball game tomorrow, Saturday at 2 p.m. We will not have a broadcaster as they're in Worthing Arena at Ball State in Muncie, Indiana, but the Falcon Media Sports Network will have a recap available on bgfalconmedia.com. Again, Sean and I will be here 7:07 p.m. tomorrow, 6:45 for pregame on Saturday, BG versus Bemidji State. Hopefully BG can complete a 5-point weekend. And then next Tuesday at 7 p.m., Tyler Kavelitz and Artie Abrego will have a call on Falcon Radio of Bowling Green men's basketball versus Buffalo here in the Stroh Center, so come watch in person or tune in to Falcon Radio on bgfalconmedia.com for that. Again, bgfalconmedia.com for the recap of today's game and the preview of this weekend series as well, if you want to read that late. And that's all our written BGSU sports news. And then BG Falcon Media YouTube channel as well for today's rebroadcast, tomorrow's rebroadcast, and all other BGSU sports visual content. Sean, it was a pleasure calling with you today, and hopefully we have similar success with Bowling Green tomorrow against Bemidji.
Yeah, like I said, I thought it was a really good third period, and hopefully they continue the momentum into tomorrow.
Ben Korak here with Sean Connolly from the Falcon Media Sports Network. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for every game of BGSU hockey.
BGSU men's basketball heads to Muncie to take on the Ball State Cardinals on Saturday, January 11th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com. This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to bgfalconmedia.com.